Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back one more time to Wheel Takes, a podcast about the Wheel of Time, a series of fantasy novels written by the one and only James Oliver Rigney, who went by Robert Jordan.
Today, so many people learned that.
And Brandon Sanderson helped finish the last few. I am Gus. I've read all of them.
I'm Allie, and I'm on book 9, chapter 12?
Yes!
Amazing.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Did I miss an episode? No.
We just binged a bunch, and we're kind of like, let's do all of it.
We're gonna push through it. We're gonna push through some of these. Allie.
Yeah.
Happy day of the week that it is today.
Okay. Yeah.
How has your day been?
It's been good. Went for a hike with the dog.
It was lovely.
And then was in bed and was reading.
Yes.
And then I turned to you and said, let's go record this podcast.
Yes. And I'll make it even a little better. We have a couple of folks to thank.
Oh my gosh, we do.
We do.
You all are too good to us.
First things first, thanks for the high five, Daniel L.
Daniel L., just like a grateful Teletubby.
Yes.
You have a wide-eyed look at the world.
Excellent.
You take everything in and just keep that childlike sense of wonder about you. And you also love to dance, and that dancing delights everyone. And you just have the cutest little voice. You have the cutest voice on the planet. You are just all over a cutie patootie. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this podcast.
And thanks for the high five, Matthew B.
Matthew B. Just like a stupendous. Have I done stupendous?
There are a lot of,
there are only
so many words. Yeah, I think it's okay.
You know what's really sad is I feel like there's so many more negative words. Because I look at like vocab words to try to find new things, and there's just a lot of, maybe because I never use the negative ones.
That's probably it, yeah.
I think that's probably it,
You're looking for new words, and you can't use,
I can't use the mean ones.
You go, I used all those.
And so then it feels like there's a million of them. I'm like, Jesus, we don't need to be so specific about what's wrong with everyone. But just like a stupendous garden snake, you look a little intimidating, maybe to some people. But you're super sweet and harmless on the inside. You slither your way into the hearts of many. What?
Good. I like it.
Why'd you give me a weird face?
I went, that's a funny word. And then I went, oh no, it works. That's good.
Snake.
They do slither. It's true.
They slither. You slither like a snake. And
no, it's good.
You have a lithe way about you. You have a graceful...
Lithe?
Lithe.
Isn't it live?
Is it? Welcome back to, did Allie learn how to pronounce this by reading or hearing it? I thought it was lithe. Like Blythe.
Lithe.
Well, fuck me. You have a lithe way about you. Stop it.
Lithe.
I will hang up this podcast.
Lithe.
Sorry.
A lithe way about you.
It's rare that I'm right about a pronunciation.
That's not even remotely true.
I'm sorry, Matthew B. We'll get back to you.
That's not even remotely true, Matthew B. You and I both know this. He's right about all of the time. A lithe and graceful way about you. Everyone just admires how swiftly and easily you move through the world. And for that, we thank you. And thank you for being a part of this community.
So thanks, as always, to all of our patrons. As always, the podcast is free. And you're very kind. By the way, just in case you didn't know, there's always a timestamp down below for when the thank yous are over if you don't like banter and fun. I'm kidding.
If you hate us, skip. If you hate me being nice, you skip.
Here's what I want to know.
What?
Did you know that I finished Malazan?
I did know that. I did know that because I didn't see you all week. And then just as you finished and I thought, I have my husband back, Zelda came into the picture.
Yes, Tears of the Kingdom is my new thing. Because I finished all 10 books of the Malazan Book of the Fallen.
Brought to you by Malazan and Zelda. Malazan and Zelda. I'm now a Malazan and Zelda widow.
It's true. And you know what's fun is I actually have like
My
10
husband's
more
not allowed
Malazan
to
books.
have interests, actually.
Here's what I want to know. Where did we leave off?
Talonvor and Perrin freezing in the snow?
Yeah, then you can just forget flags ever happened.
Oh yeah, I don't acknowledge that ever happened.
I received a lot of feedback from people saying you should have just let her skip the chapter.
I agree.
I'm sorry about that one. I'll do better. Allie, we're going to pick it up.
Now, if you are listening at any point in time, you message Gus and you tell him, how dare you?
We already have so many of these.
It makes me so happy though when people do that.
These mean messages from people all the time. That's a joke.
No, we love it every time.
Allie, we're going to pick up
We think it's hilarious every time.
Chapter 7, The Streets of Camelin.
Well, I think it's the smartest thing we ever did, because if someone's saying fuck you for real, we don't know that they're saying it for real. So we're just like, ha! Hilarious. They got to that part of the podcast.
Allie, we're going to pick it up on Chapter 7, The Streets of Camelin. Do you have any notes?
Possibly. I don't.
I believe when I asked you if you were taking notes, you looked at me and said, about what? Something like that?
Listen. Don't say that.
All right, sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't tell people I'm shady like that. Everyone thinks I'm nice for some reason.
You want to save the shadiness for the live recordings?
Well, by then they've bought their way in.
That's true. Do you have any notes for this chapter?
I think I do actually, but not a lot. I'm gonna be honest. We're doing 6 chapters today, probably.
Yes.
Because there just isn't. What did we do last week? 4?
4.
Yeah, this just hasn't been a lot.
3. I think there's 3, then 3.
Sink my teeth into.
Well, and the stuff that there is there.
And if you are a person that's like, harumph, Allie and Gus, harumph indeed. I like the slow sections. That is completely fine, and I am happy for you. And it's not that I necessarily don't like the slow sections. It's that when you are a person that is in a unique position where they have to like discuss what they've read.
Yes.
There's not a lot of meatiness to the chapter. That's totally fine. It's just there's not then a lot to sink our teeth into for the podcast.
Yeah.
It doesn't make for great podcasting material.
I love a cup of coffee in the morning. You know, sit down, drink a cup of coffee. I could do that for an hour and a half. Couldn't talk about it for very long.
No, there's not a lot to really dive into.
Yeah.
I will say, though, I like some of the character moments in these books. Elayne drinking wine is evergreen funny.
That's the best thing that's ever happened.
Evergreen funny. So, you know, I mean, sometimes that happens.
But I was going to say a lot of the meat that there is to discuss in these chapters is, you know...
Yeah.
Well, it's these chapters with David Hanlon and with the bonding and with the I wish men were still wearing dresses is kind of the meat
and
moments.
Those are not going to be things that because at a certain point, I feel like I am boring myself. And and the rule I always have is if I'm boring myself, I'm probably boring others. Right?
It's a good rule.
I get so bored of myself so fast. It's probably ADHD. But I just sit there and I'm like, no one wants to hear from you. And so, you know, when it comes to stuff where I'm like, I've already said how I feel about this stuff more than once. At this point, I just feel like the horse is buried in the ground and I'm still kicking the ground. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So there'll probably be a lot of this.
Or, you know.
Or this.
No! God, please, no!
One or the other of those two.
So.
Depending on how we feel. Although I feel like the Law and Order sound is multi-purpose because it can be used for suspense and it can also be used for directly to jail.
Go to jail.
Yeah.
Right now to jail. Gus, are you ready for my notes?
I'm so ready.
Who in the blue fuck are Nian and Elayne?
Yeah, good note.
That's my note.
Chapter 7, The Streets of Camelin. There's the logo. What's the logo?
It's a lion,
the lion
of Andor.
Elayne, Chap, Elayne's entourage attracted plenty of attention as it rode through Camelin, along streets that rose and fell with the hills of the city. The golden lily on the breast of her fur-lined crimson The golden lily on the breast of her fur-lined crimson cloak was sufficient to identify her for citizens of the capital, but she kept her hood back, framing her face, so the single golden rose on the coronet of the daughter heir was clearly visible. Not just Elayne, high seat of House Trakand, but Elayne, the daughter heir. Let everyone see and know.
If there's one thing Elayne knows how to do, it's strike a visage.
It is have a profile. So she rides through town, and we think about it, and she thinks about how important it is that she successfully hold the hearts of the people, and how much Rand sucks for having been like, I'm gonna give her the throne.
Listen. His heart was in the right place.
Yes, he just bumbled it.
Yeah, well, I mean, when he started the series, he didn't know that he was part of Andor.
That's true. This is one of those things,
so it's
too,
not really his culture, is it?
Where we think about the dichotomy here of, on the one hand, Andor hasn't sent a tax collector to the Two Rivers in...
Okay, I'm confused by this.
Yeah, we were talking about this. Andor hasn't sent a tax collector to the Two Rivers in how long? Like, generations? Or it's like maybe once in a blue moon?
Yeah.
And yet, Two Rivers Tabak is a globally, well, continent-wide recognized commodity.
Well, let's put it this way. Rand's 20 years old.
Yeah.
So they at least haven't sent a tax collector to the Two Rivers in 20 years.
Yeah.
Because he did not know.
They don't know. Half of them don't know they're part of Andor. And I'm like, wait, if you have this commodity that the Aiel know about...
Do they have schools in the Two Rivers? Do they go to school? Or are they homeschooled? Like, how does that work? Do they know math?
It's agrarian society, right? I mean, it's, there are some jokes later in the series about some of the Two Rivers folks being terrible at, like, spelling and not really being able to read very well.
Well, my favorite running bit, I'm reading ACOTAR right now.
Yeah. A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas.
And Feyre constantly paints. Like she paints all the time.
Tell me about this.
One of my favorite bits when I'm reading the series in my own head is that she's actually a terrible painter and no one has the heart to tell her.
That's really funny.
Because how fucking funny would that be?
Yeah.
She paints all the time.
That would be pretty funny.
And people are always like, wow. And I'm like, but it also could be, wow. Yeah. Great.
But it is just weird to me that everybody knows about Two Rivers Tabak. Mm-hmm. And yet the queen, or, you know, Halwyn Nori, who is by all accounts keeping Andor afloat, was never like, maybe we should tax that.
Yeah.
It's a little funny to me.
I think that to me, that's a weird thing.
That one is, yeah. That's strange.
And I'm sure that someone will have an explanation for us. I'm sure. And I mean that very lovingly. Like, yeah. I love that everybody is so passionate about the series that they have theories for this stuff. And I'm sure we're not the first people to think of this. I'm sure there's an explanation, but it does seem like a smidge of an oversight.
So, the Aes Sedai are like, hey, you know, there's some Aes Sedai in town. You gotta be careful just riding around. We don't know who they're with. And she's like, yeah, I know. I don't. That's true. And she's like, you might get kidnapped, you know, if you're not careful. And she's like, well, you know, kidnapping is kind of par for the course with succession struggles. So, like, yeah, I might. It's fine, whatever. And we look around at refugees because Cairhien was on fire. And Elayne is, like, giving money to the poor. And Saritha, you remember Saritha, is like,
I do, actually, because it sounds like Aretha.
Yes.
And Aretha Franklin is a singer I enjoy.
Yes, Saritha's like, you can't just give everyone money. And Elayne goes, children are not allowed to starve in Andor. And she's like, I don't really know how to put that edict into effect.
Imagine there's a kid starving. And she just marches up to them. She doesn't offer them bread or anything. She's just like, you're not allowed.
Jail. That's depressing.
It is. But also, because it's all imaginary, also funny.
Yes, in a fictional world.
In a fictional world, funny. In a real world situation, fucked up and weird. Don't do that. But,
there are new trades in the city. This Clockmaker's Alley. And she's like, hell yeah, man. We're gonna get additional tax income from all these trades. And
everyone's opening up their own Etsy account.
You know where you could also get additional tax income? tax the traders who are getting Two Rivers Tabak. Maybe.
I'm just saying.
Maybe they do. I don't
know of
whatever.
somewhere you
I just
could
think it's kind of funny.
go. Your boyfriend's hometown, and you're surrounded by Aiel, who clearly know what Two Rivers Tabak is, and we're just not quite linking
currently. And
Avienda's literally with her right now.
Yeah, Morghese wasn't, admittedly, but
and
again,
we've heard
I'm like,
Avienda
everybody
talk
knew
about
what it
Two
was.
Rivers Tabak because
Sure.
she's like, oh, we know the Two Rivers. She said to Rand, we know that, I believe, that we know the Two Rivers Tabak.
No, yeah, the Aiel were like, oh, fuck yeah, you have Two Rivers shit?
We've partooken
Load me up.
in that wacky tobacco.
So Brigitte comes like charging towards her, and she's like, "Oh my god, I don't know what's going on, but let's go back to the palace right now because Brigitte is upset about something. So maybe I'm in danger. What's going on with Brigitte?"
Brigitte, at this point,
Yes,
because she's mad later about something else.
Yeah.
She's mad at Elayne. Is she mad at Elayne?
no.
She's mad about her position.
A half-frozen pigeon flew into the palace court a little while ago with word from Erengil.
Oh.
The men escorting Nian and Elayne were ambushed and killed not 5 miles out of the town.
Oh.
Luckily, one of their horses came back with blood on the saddle, or we'd have known nothing for weeks yet. I doubt our luck extends to that pair being held for ransom by brigands.
Okay. So here's what's going on. Can I break it down?
Yep.
Okay, let's break it down. So, we've got this fuck called Nian. And we've got this other fuck called Elayne.
Yeah.
Which is also a great restaurant in Chicago.
Yes.
It is. So Michelin star, I believe it is the Chicago Michelin star restaurant.
I think
We're
there's
all
more
very-
than one, but I think it is a Michelin star. Yes.
Is there more than one?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I profess my foodie knowledge is lacking, but I know this much. So Elayne and this fuck Nian, the two of them are from houses that rival Elayne's. And they, at one point, had approached What's-Her-Face.
Elayne has 3 Michelin stars, is the thing about
that sets
it.
it apart.
If you don't know what a Michelin star is, real quick, because this is what we do here, is go on tangents. Michelin, yes, the tire company, for some fucking reason, also has a very, very well-to-do food critic
I actually know the
department.
answer to why this happened.
Why, Allie?
Initially, so with Michelin star, if I'm wrong about this, then I'm fucking wrong about this. But initially, it was like a promotional thing for like a little book that you could have.
Yeah, it's like a guidebook.
When you were driving across America. The
Not
Michelin
just America. I think Michelin is a European company, isn't it?
or when you're doing some kind of road trip, wherever you're going.
I could be wrong.
Right? A Michelin star indicates like this is worth driving out of your way to go there.
Yeah.
Is the
this
initial
yeah.
1 star.
Yeah, they're French.
Right?
Yeah.
But it was initially like a promotional thing for their tires. Because it was like drive across America or wherever.
Wherever, yeah. It's a French company.
And partake in great food while
Yes.
you are driving on our tires, Michelin.
Yeah.
And so 1 means it's worth driving out of your way.
Yeah.
I forget what 2 means, but 3 means it's worth taking a trip just to eat here.
Yeah, 2 means it's worth going to the city, and 3 means it is worth visiting this country for the purpose of eating here.
Yeah.
So, like, Jiro's Sushi in Japan has 3 Michelin stars.
Yeah.
Sukobayashi Jiro, I think is what it's called. I don't remember. But anyway, we have 6 chapters to get through.
Yeah. But anyway, that was worth talking about.
How did we get on? Whatever. So
How did we get on Michelin
Nian and
stars?
Elayne.
Oh, Elayne.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Nian and Elayne, they're from rival houses,
Yeah.
right? That rival Elayne's. And I believe they were the ones that approached What's-Her-Face, rival lady who's really our friend.
Dial in.
Dial up internet. Okay. So that's how I'm going to remember it.
Yep.
So dial up internet, they approach dial up and they're like, and then, dial up goes, actually, no, I'm not going to, oust Elayne. I'm going to have you fucking arrested. And so she fucking arrests them. And then they were going to transport them for some dumbass reason. Why did they transport them? That was dumb.
Prisoner transport.
Why were they doing that? That was silly. That was dumb. But so they were dumbly transporting them somewhere, being like, oh, we're out in the open. Nothing bad could possibly happen now. And all their people got killed and those 2 escaped, probably to go back to their rival houses and try to get everybody together.
No. So the concern from Elayne is they probably didn't get kidnapped by bandits, right?
I know, they went back home.
Well, did they go back to their respective homes?
No, they went to their friends and were like, hey, friends, let's all band together.
No, that's not what she theorizes, no. She says either Nian's family house freed them. And went up to
that would be them going home.
And took Elayne and said, you're gonna support her or we'll kill you. Or...
Wait. Is Nian a girl?
Nynaeve and Elayne are women. Yes, they are both rival claimants.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
they're like, Elayne, throw your Michelin stars at Nian.
Elayne Sarand is one of them, whose brother is Jared Sarand.
Right, and he was going to do anything to get her back, right?
So there's Nayan Aron, I guess, and her, they know that her family might dither before ransoming her. So, like, if the Sarands took them, then they will she will have a lot of time to consider whether or not she wants to support.
Yeah, but if the other side took the other one.
If the Arons took Elayne, they know that Jared Sarand is a firebrand lunatic.
So they're going to have to act quickly.
They're like, okay, join us now or we'll kill you now because your brother will go on a rampage otherwise.
Yeah. So then Elaine's like, and if all of those houses are together, arithmetic that I was taught equals,
Like
I'm fucked.
A lot of great houses against her. Yeah.
I think like the number, like close to the number that's like needed to be
close.
against her.
Yeah.
So that's fucking bad. So why we're transporting those prisoners out in the open, I'll never know.
They thought they were doing it secretly. And that's the whole thing is like,
there are no secrets.
oh my God, there's a spy in the palace. Now here's the thing. How do you feel? This is not a loaded
there's no
question.
such thing as a secret.
This is not a loaded question. How do you feel about this palace intrigue plot?
You know what a secret is?
What?
Something you keep to your damn self. That is the only real secret that exists.
How do you feel about this succession palace intrigue, this whole thing?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It's been kind of interesting. There was an assassination. It's been interesting. There's an assassination attempt and now these fucks are free.
Yeah.
All of that is bad.
Yeah.
And there's a clear and active goal.
And there are clear stakes.
Pretty
much, right?
She
could get killed.
Well, I mean, she just nearly was.
Yeah.
So I'm liking that part of it.
Yeah.
What I'm not liking is the David Hamlin of it all.
Yes. I think it's interesting because I think there is a way for the succession plot to feel very Ramonda and Elayne to me. Ramonda and Elayne, sorry. But whereas Ramonda and Elayne are completely indistinguishable and also like, I don't understand what they would do to Egwene if they overthrew her. This is like, oh, these are a bunch of people who think they're in A Song of Ice and Fire. I don't necessarily know what each individual one of them wants, but they're clearly greedy and will probably kill Elayne.
Yeah. I mean, I think, excuse me. I think the one issue that I'm seeing is I don't really know any of the other players in this game.
Yeah.
Other than Dylan, who I'm pretty sure I trust because she had the two other people who were going to support her arrested.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily worry about her because it feels like, I mean, could she turn on Elayne if Elaine's not doing a good job? Totally. But I trust my girl Elayne to do a good job. She's been preparing for this her whole 20 years of life. And Morgaze was no dummy. I mean, she, through no fault of her own, shit the bed at the end. But, does that really outdo 20 years of service?
Well,
people are so fickle.
I mean, think about the realities of politics, right? A lot of the time, somebody will have a gaffe. I mean, wasn't there a presidential candidate who said yeehaw the wrong way on the campaign trail, and everyone was like, that's what doomed his campaign?
Well, it gave people the ick.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. And Morgaze, in particular, spent about a year being, actively the most trash queen possible because she was being compelled.
There's no fault of her.
I don't blame her for this, but she had Forsaken just annihilating her reputation for a full year.
No, I mean, and reputations are very important. But I guess I'm just more level-headed than most people. I'm not emotionally reactive at
Definitely
all.
not.
Never have I ever.
There's no evidence of any
swayed
of that
between liking
on
a
this
character and
podcast.
hating them vehemently in a single chapter. That's never happened in my life, personally. I'm just better than all of you.
Sure.
No, I'm not at all.
So
not at all.
Elayne is worried that either Anshar, Baron, Sarand, and Aran are all going to be working together, or
some other people we don't know.
So she's like, it's either four, or it's going to be a number of houses arrayed against me, whatever. So she's proud of herself for figuring this out. We're going to keep it moving. They get into the palace. She offers Brigitte a warder's cloak, and Brigitte's like, no, I kind of hate being a warder at all, and I miss my bow. And also, what else is happening to her metaphysically that's depressing?
She's losing her memories.
She's
of
losing her
past
past life memories, yes.
Now, do I think it's kind of a bummer that the first woman warder hates being a warder? Yes, I do. It does make me sad.
Well, I should clarify. It's less that she hates being a warder and more that she is cosmically depressed.
I know, but it's kind of like she broke a glass ceiling and then was like, I didn't want to, though.
She was also force bonded.
No, I know.
You know?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's kind of a bummer. It'd be like, okay, the first woman CEO, right?
Yeah.
Gets there because her dad gave it to her and she wanted to go to art school.
Sure.
And you're like, yay. But also
no.
oh.
Admittedly, she is also in a very atypical for being a warder role, right? Because her whole thing is that she's Robin Hood, right? She's an epic heroine. Mm-hmm. Heroine, whatever. And
if she's Robin Hood, she robs from the rich to give to the needy, and now she's working for the, 1%.
yeah, and also they got to the palace and Elayne was like, cool, you're in an administrative role now.
Ugh. And there's nothing worse than an administrative role.
Yeah, and she's like,
I right?
This is literally the opposite of the purpose for which I exist.
So she's like, so you gave me a desk job.
Yeah, kind of. You promoted me
Girl,
to captain.
I get it now. Okay,
Now I miss the streets. I miss to make like a 1920s noir joke. I miss the beat.
Or I'd rather be in the streets, not the spreadsheets. Hey.
Elayne tells Brigitte to stop swearing so much, and Brigitte's like, at least I know what the fucking curse words mean. Which is true, because Elayne trying to swear is hilarious.
There are some people that can't pull it off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are some people that they can't pull off a good swear. And you know what? And that's fine. There's no judgment. It's just funny. There are just some people that can't do it.
And then Elayne gets like this reminder of how young she is, because she sees this like gawking servant boy, and she's like, run along now and do what you're supposed to do, because if you're standing around gawking, you're probably doing something you're not. And then he runs off.
God
and then
forbid
she's
you
like,
take a 10.
And then she's like, I'm not much older than that serving boy. And that's just kind of the end of the chapter.
Well, yeah, she's very young.
Yeah. Chapter 8, Seafolk and Kin. How do you feel about that?
Oh boy.
That's the logo. What is it?
Just what I always wanted. It's a Suldam.
Is that what that's called?
No. It's the sadness necklaces.
Is that no?
The bracelets.
Yes, it's the necklace. What's the necklace and collar called?
It's the Damani and the Suldam.
And they are joined by Steve Jobs presents the
MacBook?
No. It's a personal handheld
iPad, iPhone, iPod Touch, iPod Nano.
It's not iSub.
iDom.
That's right.
Wow, that fell out of my head for some reason.
Well, we haven't heard about them in a while.
We haven't.
So she's looking for Reenie Harford. Do you have notes? I don't think you might.
Do.
Yeah.
I think I had one or two. Because you kept going, write notes down. And I'd be like, Gus, I will write notes when there's something to write a note about.
Yeah.
Anyway, Elayne has refused to have bodyguards. And that's dumb as fuck.
That also happened last chapter, actually, yes.
Oh, was that last chapter?
Maybe it kind of blends together.
Oh, and then they call new warders fresh caught as a throwback to the days they wouldn't ask people.
Oh, yeah.
Much yikes.
Why do we...
Much bomb.
Why is this... Why?
I mean, how cute, right? What a cute thing for us to recall as a culture.
Gotta bring that shit up.
You know what's fun? Lack of consent. Nope. I hate it.
It's not.
Anyway.
Reenie Harfer shows up and she's like, hey, I haven't found any spies yet, but a handful of servants fled the palace as soon as I started questioning people. And Elayne is like, well, there you go. Then you caught some fucking spies. Good work.
Good job, spy hunter.
Halwyn Nori wants to talk. What's Halwyn Nori want to talk about?
Sushi?
He's like, hey, girl, good news. We found alum deposits.
Do they just discover aluminum?
No, alum is a different thing.
What is it?
It is used for dyes. It is a mineral, I believe.
Hot dog.
Yeah. They can tax it. Like they could be taxing Two Rivers tobacco. This is our new why doesn't anybody recognize more gays? A completely unimportant thing that for some reason drives people absolutely nuts.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It's bugging me. And listen, I understand, but like some of them should recognize her. Like Galena should recognize her.
We can't do this again.
She spent so much time at the tower, Gus.
No, we can't.
She spent so much time at the tower. Galena should recognize her.
No!
Galena should recognize her.
All right, so anyway.
Galena recognized Alejandra, but not more gays. Be fucking for real, Robert.
Right, so
be fucking for real.
So Halwyn Nori wants to talk about, she's also thinking, apparently there's weevils, there's moths.
Do they wobble and they don't fall down?
And you got really excited by the word weevil because you were like, what
didn't know what
funny
the fuck
word.
a weevil was.
It's a little bug. And hams spoiling in winter? That was decidedly odd. Allie, did you know the apocalypse is coming?
Yeah.
As a reminder, there's no time. Look at the shelf. There's no time. No time. We have no time left. There's not enough time. We don't have any time. Remember several books ago when Rand says there's no time? There's no time, Allie. Hams are spoiling. Hams are spoiling.
Hams are spoiling. There's time for the hams to spoil.
When the hams start spoiling?
Well, don't hams spoil any weather? What?
I don't know.
Don't they spoil it's meat that you left out? It's gonna spoil. Like, are they putting it in the snow?
So
is that what's weird? It's spoiling when it's out in the cold? Guys, I guess that's weird, but I feel like it would happen eventually, right?
So there's a bunch of Suldam and Damani in the palace.
Because ham would only last in the freezer for like a couple weeks before it gets bad.
In the freezer? Months.
Months?
Frozen food lasts for a long time.
But frozen meat, you're like, I think you're supposed to throw it out after 2 months.
No.
I don't know.
It depends on when you froze it and also how well frozen it is, but more than 2 months.
More than 2 months?
Yeah. How do you think people survived when there was no game to hunt in the winter?
Jerkies?
Yeah, that too. Salts.
Lots of jerkies?
Yeah, probably. But,
salted meats?
But they would also freeze stuff and it would last for quite a long time.
How would they freeze it? Oh, on the cold?
Yeah, they'd make literal ice box.
What if an animal finds it?
You close the ice box.
Oh.
Or you have like...
You know what? I call this from my little house on the... I recall this from my little house on the prairie
You have
days.
like, a meat shed like they have on Yellow Jackets.
You know what I wanted so bad?
Huh?
So when I was in my little house on the prairie phase, which shout out to the Little House on the Prairie girls.
Uh-huh.
They at one point made like molasses and then put it on the snow. So it was like snow candy. I've wanted that exact thing for my entire adult life. And I'm like, Allie, you lived in the snow and you basically, all you would have to do is get some molasses and pour it on there. But I never took the opportunity.
Oh, I've done that before.
Really? Is it good?
Yeah, it's great.
Really?
Yeah. So why are there Suldam and Damani in the palace?
It sounds magical. Okay.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Just pour syrup on the snow, pick it up and eat it. It's great.
That's sick. Okay, we got to do that sometime.
All right. Well, we can't now. Anyway, maybe sometime. What?
Yeah, but your family still lives in the cold.
That's true.
Why visit them all the time?
Suldam and Damani here?
Because at some point, somebody captured them.
End of book 8.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right. With Rand and the sword and the calendar and the colander.
And
the water ran out and some Suldam were in there.
Yeah. They strained the pasta and went, how'd you get, should have noticed
that. Just like a bunch of fucking weevils. Am I right?
Weevils wobble. Yeah, but like Taim just showed up and was like, here's these women, and he dumped them on their porch and left. There's also
classic.
Between kinswomen and seafolk windfinders, rooms in the servants' quarters had been needed to hold the overflow, even with 2 and 3 to a bed, and the palace had basements for storage, not dungeons. How did Rand always manage to do the wrong thing? Being male.
Damn!
Being male just was not excuse enough.
Damn!
Well, don't worry, Elayne. In about 4 chapters, he's gonna be all up in your guts. So there's that to look forward to, I guess. I know. This is Elaine's head anytime Rand is not in the room.
Oh, you stupid boy.
I mean, listen, I call Rand out pretty regularly because he does a lot of dumb shit.
Oh, yeah.
But that was mean. That was genuinely pretty mean. I thought it was actually a below the belt and uncalled for.
So Rihanna wants to come.
He's going through a lot.
Rihanna wants to talk to Elayne about some kin stuff.
Sure. Is this the chapter where at some point Van Deen shows up?
Yeah, Van Deen shows up now, and she's
all right,
like,
let's talk about this.
Tell the kinswomen to stop investigating my sister's murder because it's pissing me off.
Why would it be pissing you off?
Because they want to keep it a secret that she was killed by dark friends.
Why would they want to keep it a secret?
Because they don't want them to know that there is a dark friend among the Aes Sedai, because there must be. And they're like, that's bad. That should not be public knowledge. Because if it is publicly known that we are seeking a dark friend, said dark friend may rabbit or kill us.
What's rabbit?
Rabbit, run away.
Oh. Well, then you'll know who it is.
Escape down a hole. Yeah, but she'll be
and
gone.
She won't be your problem anymore. But.
And she wouldn't get to have, you know, her, like, epic badass, take this is for Adelius, right? Because that's totally going to happen.
Well, unless she's the killer.
Sure.
Which I think she might be. Because the kid were around when Adelius was killed. They know it was a dark friend.
Yeah, but
why?
They interrogated the ever-loving fuck out of Ispan, and Ispan had no idea that the kin even existed. So the conclusion they drew from this is there are no dark friends among the kin.
Which that seems like a little bit of a logical fallacy to me.
Well, consider, who are the kin's members?
A bunch of runaway Aes Sedai.
So why?
Well, I guess they were like pre-Aes Sedai.
They're runaways, though, right?
Yeah.
They're runaways.
But they're not from the Aes Sedai ranks. They're from
outcasts.
They're pre-Sedai.
Yeah, but, you know, accepted who failed their tests.
Right.
Mostly women who were bereft and needed a place to go.
Right.
Right? It follows that the Black Aja, if they failed their test, would probably just be killed. Right?
Yeah, probably.
So, because my read on this is that because the kin are sort of like an altruistic, like, almost sort of women's shelter.
Maybe that's what happened with what's-her-face.
Whomst?
The girl with the green, Eden, or whatever her name is.
The girl with the one who Moiraine said her only flaw is that her boobs are slightly too big.
No such thing.
Elid Abarium.
Elid! That was her name. Maybe Elid Abaria was boobing boobily through the evil. And then she was failing and they were like, all right, fuck it, shut her down.
No, didn't we determine that she fell to the orgy room, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's our headcanon for Elid.
She's living her best life in the orgy room.
Yeah, they were like, all right, this challenge is don't go to the orgy. And Elid was like, fuck that.
I'm going to the orgy.
I'm going to the orgy
party.
That
was like a great time. You know what? If I were locked in with a bunch of these ladies,
it's not.
You know what?
I get it.
Here's the thing.
I get it, Elid.
For how many years was she friggin' a novice, right? How many years was she an accepted? Sounds like it really sucks and is not a good time.
Anyway,
and if I saw a good time, I'd be like, I'm gonna go have a good time.
So, Elid. So yeah, she's like, tell them to stop investigating because they've figured out it must be a Black Aja, and that's like, please let me take care of this. This is my Batman moment. This is my I am the knight. This is my vengeance. Or maybe, according to Allie, I did it.
I feel like it's a little suspicious, to be honest, that she's this upset about it.
Also, she's still got the Aes Sedai prejudice against runaways.
Oh, Stop. All right. Riddle me this, sis. Who called the Drakkar in your bumfuck town? Who called him?
Vandine is also like, look, the kinswomen need to be trained better. They need
She's
more
changing
stuff
the
to
subject.
do. They're getting bored, and they keep on sticking their noses places they shouldn't, so you need to teach them harder. And Elayne is like, I'm busy trying to rule a nation.
Yeah, what happened to work-life balance?
Possibly a second nation in the coming
I have
months.
2 kingdoms to run. You do it.
Vandine, I hardly have a moment Vandine, I hardly have a moment for myself to think. I'm already straining to give them an hour now and again. It'll have to be Nynaeve. And then
Nynaeve walks
comes
in and
over
is like, it'll have to be
hey,
Nynaeve what?
What's up? I just got railed. What are we talking about? She's wearing the Ch7 on her forehead now.
Oh, yeah, because she wants to appropriate her husband's culture.
It is her culture now.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the, which I believe is
Ch7?
Yeah, it's a forehead dot, which I believe is
Bindi, or
it's
I think there's
either-
a bunch of names for it.
I'm not sure
'cause it's
which
different.
particular. Yeah, broadly from in and around India. I know a good friend of mine growing up was Hindu, and his family had that.
Yeah, Bindi.
Yeah, it's a Bindi. Yeah.
Or
Hindu. Yeah, it's Hindu.
Yeah, or
and some other
Patu.
religious groups.
Yeah, I grew up with a
Okay.
friend who was Hindu.
Which is
Well, part Hindu.
partially, sometimes worn as an adornment or sign of marriage, can also be traditionally believed to be venerating an energy center of the human body or representing the third eye, but also worn as an adornment or a sign of marriage. So that's looped in. For Malkir.
Yeah, Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, and Sikhs. Cool. And it's also called Patu?
Maybe?
In Tamil?
Cool.
Tamil,
I believe.
Tamil, my
I
bad.
could be wrong.
We went on a long hike today. My brain is
We
fried.
did.
Tamil, you're right.
So Nynaeve comes up and she looks content, which I assume is Robert Jordan going, she got fucked, because
It's
Lan
definitely what that
is
means.
nearby. And we get a review on who Lan is. And when they tell her, yeah, we want you to teach the sea folk, or not the sea folk, is it the sea folk? No, it's not the sea folk. Yeah, teach the kinswomen
kid.
more.
And the sea folk are like, excuse me, I believe that we were supposed to have a teacher.
You said
actually?
teacher, and according to the laws and customs of that deal we made, that means I own you now.
Which is a lot.
And Nynaeve goes, now you listen to me. Elayne might be able to loll around playing politics, but I have my hands full. More than
We know.
More than half the kin would have vanished by now if Alice wasn't holding them by the scruff of the neck, and since she hasn't a hope of reaching the shawl herself, I'm not sure how much longer she'll hold anybody. The rest think they can argue with me.
What does she mean she doesn't have a hope of reaching the shawl herself?
She's not strong enough.
Oh, that's such bullshit.
Yesterday, Sumiko called me girl. So we are once again putting Nynaeve in a place where her insecurities regarding her age and youth and relative inexperience are being exploited by a group.
Sure.
Admittedly, she told the kin stop listening to and respecting the Aes Sedai so much, and it backfired on her. But I do feel like it's worth noting this is yet another moment where we go, ha ha ha, Nynaeve, you fucked up.
Get in your place, Nynaeve.
Why? Alright, so
Yeah.
anyway, that happens. And she's mad about the sea folk because why, Alright, wasn't that a great 20-minute conversation we just had about the sea folk and why we care about their plot line? Alright, so, moving on. Is that not funny?
Yeah.
It took you a second?
I had no idea what the fuck you were doing. I was like, why is he fucking around with the sound booth?
So yeah. Vandine is having a terrible time.
Well, yeah, she killed her sister.
Nynaeve was like, you need to be eating more food. You're getting like, it looks like you're not eating. You're wasting away.
Woman who killed her sister says what?
She says, I do eat, Vandine said to Nynaeve, but everything tastes like ashes. And she walks
woman
away.
who killed her sister says
and
what?
Nynaeve goes, stubborn woman.
Oh.
I know a dozen herbs that would help her sleep, but she won't touch them. I've half a mind to slip something into her evening wine. And
It's
Elayne
almost
is
as
like,
if she wants to experience the guilt of the guilt. She's punishing herself, huh?
Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Is that Stepan scene a reference to this?
Why? Because you want to take...
She gives him herbs to help him sleep after he is feeling enormous grief.
Oh, yeah. But the writers don't know what they're doing.
No, they've never read the books. That's a joke. So...
I was a little like, maybe give him that sleeping stuff, though, like one at a time. Do you know what I mean? Like one day at a time.
They talk about whether or not it's possible that Egwene is going to be able to incorporate the canon with the tower, and she's not really sure how it could be. And then she eventually, like 18 pages after going to see Rihanna, she finally finds Rihanna. They're talking about the Suldam. What's going on with the Suldam and the Damani? Because that's what we're really here for.
What's going on with the Suldam and the Damani? Well, nothing good. They're trying to see if they can free the Damani.
Yeah, they're trying to unbrainwash the Damani, and they're trying to convince the Suldam that, in fact, they can channel, so they can then release them back into the Shan-Chan-held lands and hopefully destabilize their entire civilization.
Rad.
Because the Suldam will come back and be like, either they will hide it and have total breakdowns, a la Rena, or, Rena? Was that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Or they will... be like, hey, we're actually Damani, collar us, and then suddenly Suldam or Damani or Suldam, everything is bad.
Everything's confusing.
You know, like...
Well, how can you control what is already being... Yeah, that would be confusing.
Members of the royal family have been Suldam before.
Egyanan has had a response.
Egyanan
okay, but have any
receptive.
of the members of the royal family been Damani before? And if not, then I smell a conspiracy, because there's no way... that magic has lain dormant in that family forever.
Maybe.
Conspiracy.
So, some of the Damani, they think, are essentially deconditioned. 3 of them. Because, like, sometimes they uncolor them and they start screaming, put it back on, put it back on, put it back on.
Sure.
So, two of the Damani are like, no, we still need to be collared.
Sure.
And then this other one, her name is Olivia.
They have hope for this one. But they said she's still a little Stockholm Syndrome-y.
Hold on, I'm trying to find...
She was a member of, like, the royal family or something like that. She was, like, an upper level something. And she had just come into her powers the day the Shan-Chan arrived. Right?
No.
Yes.
Olivia was collared when she was 14. She was...
Yeah, she was collared at 14... the day the Shan-Chan attacked.
The Shan-Chan, she was born in Shandar.
No.
Yes.
No. I remember this. Because I was like, that sucks. Am I wrong? I'm so sure I was right about that. I was all proud of myself for remembering. If I'm right, I'm gonna be smug. And if I'm not, then I said what you said. Google Olivia.
Okay, so she says... They truly seem horrified at the prospect of freedom. Olivia has stopped that. Now, she says it was only because she was afraid she would be retaken. She says she hates all the Suldam, and she certainly makes a good show of it, snarling at them and cursing at them. But she was collared at 13 or 14, Elayne. She's not certain which. And she's been Damani for 400 years.
Yeah, 400 years ago when the Shan-Chan attacked.
And aside from that, Olivia is considerably stronger than Nynaeve. It's right there.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Why? I know why, but why?
I just feel like we can't let the women have anything. Like, is there going to be a boy that shows up that's stronger than Rand?
Rand is the theoretical top limit for men who can channel.
Yeah, so was Nynaeve.
Nynaeve
theoretical top woman ever.
No, Nynaeve is equal to Megiddian. Megiddian is one of the weaker Forsaken.
Well, she was the goat.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it either. I'm not defending it.
Fine. But can the women be special?
So they debate whether or not to free Olivia, and Lan is like, look, if you keep her contained after she said, no, fuck the Shan-Chan, I'm ready to be uncollared, then you're not a lot better than the Shan-Chan are.
That's true.
Which is fair.
That's a fact. Just keep her supervised for a while.
This is what you were thinking of. The other 2 they want to free are named Kara and Lemore. Kara was basically a wisdom on Toman head, and she got Stockholm syndromes.
So let me get this straight. This woman has been a demoni for 400 years, and she's like, you know what? Actually, fuck them. But this woman has been a demoni for like 6 months,
maybe a year or two, year and a half.
Okay.
And then the other one, Lamore is just 19. A pampered noblewoman with the extreme bad luck to have the spark manifest itself in her on the very day Tenchiko fell. She says
I wasn't right about which one, but I was right about that.
She says she hates the Shan and wants to make them pay for what they did to Tenchiko, but she answers to Larry, her demoni name.
It's what?
Larry. Sorry, Larry. It's Larie. As readily as tomorrow.
Wait, no, let me explain why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at the name Larry. I'm laughing because...
It's unexpected. Maybe it's Larry.
There are those people online that name their pets like George.
Yeah.
Or Larry.
Which is nothing's wrong with that.
No, but it's like, it cracks me up when
our dog is named Petey.
Yeah, but it cracks me up when pets have like proper human names.
What, like Petey?
Well, like, no, if his name was Peter.
Okay.
That would be really silly, right? Or like, this is Bartholomew the cat. Oh my God, Bartholomew would be a great name for a cat. Yeah. But anyways, someone make it happen. But, and then send us pictures. But I just think it's like, if you look at it from the Sean Chan perspective, they look at the demoni as like pets, right? So this is the equivalent to someone naming their cat Larry.
It's not wrong with Larry and your cat. What about Larry, Chief Mouser at Downing Street?
Larry, the Chief Mouser at Downing Street. I think it's hilarious.
Larry has outlasted like 4 prime ministers, Al. Come on now. Are you slandering the senior member of the British government?
I would never slander Larry. Let me be clear, sir. I am just saying that, to me, it's very funny when someone names their dog like a very human name, a human man's name in particular. Cracks me up. So that's basically, I'm going to name my pet Larry. It's hilarious.
So Elayne is like, all right, we're popping those collars off, baby. Let's fucking roll.
The slavery part's not hilarious.
No, yeah, that's
but bad. This part, if you just look at it for what it is funny.
I'm sorry, Nynaeve goes, we're taking those fucking collars off. Let's fucking roll. And we're going to get them ready for novice training. And it's going to be good. We're going to fucking crush the game. Got it? I'm not happy about it either. I'm a little nervous, but let's fucking roll. And then Lan just walks up to her and quietly goes, Tai Shar Manetherin. And she cries a little bit.
Why she crying?
Because that was a sweet thing that he said.
Why? Because she was showing a lot of bravery?
She was courageous and she faced her fears and stuff.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's very supportive spouse energy.
And then they're not sure about the sold on me yet. They're going to hold on to them for a while. And then she's like, damn.
I'm not sure about those women either.
We got to keep it rolling. We're not done yet. And that's kind of the end of chapter 8. Chapter 9, Allie, a cup of tea. That's the logo. What is it?
It's the snake. It's the four snake.
It's the four snake. And do you have any notes?
I think so. No, I don't think so. I actually think that the ones I read before are for this chapter.
All right.
I need to start labeling the chapters.
Yeah, maybe.
But I won't.
I do that for Hunger Games. So, chapter 9, a cup of tea.
You're just better than me.
No.
Aren't
Elayne chapter. She changes clothes. She talks to her maid. She has a whole meeting with Halwyn Nore where he's like, we found Alum. Oh my god. We did it. Alum Nation. Hell yeah. Alum.
We're gonna tax the shit out of that.
Andor, Alum, capital of the world. Fuck yeah, Alum. Fuck yeah, Alum.
Is the alum significant in some way? Like, why are you focusing so much on this shit? Who cares?
He walks into the room and goes,
why are you so...
we found Alum, and all the courtiers go... I just love this whole thing with it.
What the fuck? Why do we care about Alum?
Care about what?
Alum. His hand instantly hovered over the button when he asked me that question.
What question?
About what I was talking about.
What were you talking about?
Alum. You were like a fucking kid with this thing. It's hysterical.
Yeah, so they found alum. Elayne sat up straight as soon as he mentioned alum, and she smiled much more broadly.
What, is it an aphrodisiac?
She felt a little like capering herself.
Is it alum's an aphrodisiac?
We did it, everybody! We found alum!
I'm gonna call it alum-phrodisiac.
I can't let it. Anyway, yeah, they get really excited about the alum because they're going to be able to make a lot of...
Because it makes people horny.
They're going to make a lot of money off of it.
Yeah, because it makes people horny.
She says, this is the best news I've received all day.
Yeah, because it makes people horny, and you're hoping Rand visits soon.
It's going to help them get loans from the bank.
Yeah, only alums.
All right, anyway, we're gonna keep it rolling now. Rand started a school in Camelin, and she immediately named it her own school.
What? She goes, that's my school, dibs?
Yeah, pretty much.
What? Yeah, dibs a school?
Rand started schools in case he did end breaking the world in the hope of saving something, but this school would be Andor's, not Rand al'Thor's. The Academy of the Rose, dedicated to the memory of Morghese Tricand. There would be a future, and the future would remember her mother. And Morghese is like, stop telling everyone I'm dead.
Stop telling everyone I'm dead. Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
So, you know, we catch up about Elida's weird proclamations about Rand. And he's like, and then the after thing is like, oh, by the way, someone blew up the Sun Palace with the One Power. And she's like, the what?
Cool.
He's like, you know what? Whatever. It's fine. He might be dead. He's probably not. It's all good. I'm sure he's fine. And she's like, I hope he can be all up in my bits in the next couple chapters.
Elayne's just like, I need people to either be definitely dead or definitely alive. This will they, won't they with death is not it.
And then we get into, she gets more news from Halwyn Nori. Not all the news was important either. Not like, what is that? Not like, fucking alum. Hell yeah. Alum for days. Rename it Alumendor.
It's definitely an aphrodisiac.
Oh
no
my
one gets
God.
that excited over die.
I don't have an air horn because I know it would piss people off, but if I had an air horn, I'd be playing it right now. Anyway, yeah, so, Alum... The Queen of Saldia was still on her long retreat in the country, which Elayne already knew about, but it seemed the Queen of Candor had not been seen in Chachin for months either.
We could have named it literally anything else.
And the King of Shinar was supposedly still... What?
Andor and Candor, guys.
Yes.
We could have named it literally anything else.
Where are all of the borderland rulers?
On their way.
Yeah.
Apparently, for a book and a half now.
So, you know...
No, 2 books.
We're on the second book.
All right.
They were already well on their way.
We're halfway through the
point.
second book.
Almost.
Tenobia's got to hurry her ass up. What's taking so long?
They talk about Rydran for a while. Remember him?
No.
King Rydran of Marindi?
I don't give a fuck.
He was the one who was like, maybe the Band of the Red Hand could just wander around like a marauding army.
Right. That guy.
So this is a lot of recap.
Because they're like, you know what? The band is becoming cumbersome. Let's put them on ice for a second.
And then she's like, hey, guess what? You know what it's time for? Right. Now that we've got this alum, we're going to send letters to every noble in Kyrian to say,
you know what they should call it?
Big Dick Elayne coming. What?
You know the actor Alan Cumming? They should call it Alum Cumming.
That's funny. She's like, Big Dick Elayne is coming to town.
Yes. Get it? Because it's
according to you, it's not. It's a dying material.
Dying what?
I don't get... the
little death? Am I right?
There you go. So
they're dying to have some of alum coming. No, I was trying to do the sound. I could hear me go.
So anyway, she has a letter. Have a letter prepared for my signature and seal, Master Nori, to be sent to every major house in Kyrian. Begin with setting out my right to the Sun Throne as the daughter of Terengale Demodred, and say that I will come to put forward my claim when events in Andor are more settled.
Say that I will bring no soldiers with me, as I know that Andoran soldiers on Kyrian soil would incite all of Kyrian against me, and rightly so. Finish with my appreciation of the support offered to my cause by many Kyrianen, and my hope that that any divisions within Kyrian can be healed peacefully.
Okay.
And he's like, nice.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah?
So he sends a pigeon back, TLDR.
That's funny.
I would like that.
Red. So this lady comes in and she's like, hey, you forgot to order lunch, so here's some lunch. I'm just a woman you've never seen before. Some maids, here's some food, you should eat that shit. And she eats that shit.
I don't think you should do that.
And broth, Dylan comes in and they talk about this army in Braham Wood.
Sure.
He said he saw Arafelin, Kanduri, and Shinarans in different places. Thousands of them altogether, tens of thousands. What in the light are this is Dylan. What in the light are Borderlanders doing nearly on the border of Andor? And Elayne goes, it's Rand, I'll wager.
She yawns.
That was your yawn?
That's my Elayne yawning.
So cute.
That's not how I yawn, but that's how Elayne totally yawns.
It was so cute. It was ridiculously cute.
So, by the way...
It's like, sounds like your Zelda games.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's an interesting thing about Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, which is that everybody sounds like they're in a porn at all times. Mm-hmm. It's... Anyway.
And sometimes, when you're in another part of the house and you don't know what Gus is watching, I just think that he's watching porn on, like, full blast.
Zelda.
And I'm like...
It's always Zelda.
What the fuck? I walk in, I'm like, what the fuck are you watching?
Doing? I'm playing video games. What video games? So anyway, she's like, nobody knows where the Borderlander rulers are. And then she's like, there's tens of thousands of Borderlanders in Braham Wood. Probably Rand.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Maybe we talked about, maybe they're not here to help him. Maybe they're going to slap the shit out of him. We've talked about this.
Well, I know, but either way, it comes down to it's probably about Rand.
Probably, yeah. So she thinks like maybe Rand sent these armies to help her, and she's like, that would be a terrible idea. And then she's like, why am I so sleepy?
You got poisoned.
Fork root. Uh-oh. Oh my God. And the reader goes, oh, you stupid boy.
Yeah.
So she yawns, and then she's like, oh fuck, I'm dying. And she tries to, like, send to Brigitte to help her.
Forkroot's not going to kill her, right?
No, but the assassins will.
They just wanted to talk.
And at this point, you were like, hooray, a bingo square.
I did get a bingo square.
Well, you thought you were going to get a bingo square, because what was your guess?
Brigitte was going to come save her.
Brigitte or Avienda save Elayne from assassination attempts.
I was so excited.
What actually happens?
That.
Does that happen?
That is what happened.
All right, so...
In my mind, it is. In my mind, it is.
So
in my mind.
She goes, go, get help. I've been poisoned. Go. And Dylan, like, gets up and a bunch of assassins bust in and Dylan goes, murder! Gods! Murder! Which I love in old British movies when people just scream murder. It gets your attention. It works.
I mean...
And she throws her fucking chair at them like that Waffle House fight video from a few months ago. And I guess the assassin is just like that woman at the counter because she just grabs it and drops the...
My favorite thing that's happened is I guess the Jonas Brothers came out with some song where there's like really like sweet things about a Waffle House. Yeah. And it's people taking that song but playing it over all the jacked up shit that happens at a Waffle House. And it cracks me up every time I see one.
I am thinking specifically of that Waffle House video where someone throws a chair at the line cook and she just catches it and sets it down. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah. That was fucking badass.
So...
That woman is like yet another fucking day at the Waffle House.
So, Dylan
this
takes...
podcast is brought to you.
Dylan takes one of these guys out with a chair, and then she hurls herself at the other ones with a knife.
Okay, so we got to start trusting Dylan because she literally put her body and chair on the line for Elayne.
She does get stabbed.
She literally got stabbed for Elayne.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to start trusting Dylan 100%. Because otherwise, brilliant performance, and in which case we should just trust her because she's a great actress.
And then, like, this third assassin gets to Elayne and just kind of, like, stands there and stares at her for about 5 seconds, and then suddenly he is pierced through the gut by a sword. And there's a guy, a man with a face like an axe, in the white-collared coat of a guardsman. All right.
Anyway.
That's the end of Chapter 9.
And Elayne doesn't make any kind of stupid decision.
Chapter 10, Allie.
Yeah.
A plan succeeds. Whose plan is it?
Not mine.
Yeah, what's the logo? What is...
It's a ring.
A ring. Any notes? No, you don't, actually. Because all the notes you had were about Rand, I think.
Let me just triple check.
Yeah, it says he.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Elayne wakes up and she's like, I'm not dead. Cool.
Which is a victory, for sure.
She can channel again, so she's thrilled. And she's like, what, is Dylan okay? Is everyone all right? And Nynaeve is like, yeah.
And then she says some great ideas. The first is that she's going to have guards on her at all times.
That is a good idea.
That would be a good one. The second thing that she's going to do is have someone taste her food from now on.
That is a
That'd
good
be
idea.
a great idea. And the third is that we're gonna give Brigitte more to do.
Do we?
Those are the
Is that
things
all that
she
happens?
decides she'll do.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And Avienda can also be her personal guard at all times.
They talk about Toe.
And also, they could bump uglies in the night.
They talk about Toe with Avienda, because Avienda's like, I fucked up and I have Toe. And Elayne goes, it's very small, which is a nice callback.
Oh, and that's like super important, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the IU. So
Yeah.
No, they're sharing their culture.
Yeah, Elaine's picking it up. And Avienda's like, they were trying to kill you, by the way, not kidnap you. Because Elayne was like, kidnappings, they happen in this sort of thing.
That is not what was happening.
And Brigitte goes, after Mellar, a guy's name is Doylan Mellar, allegedly. After Mellar killed the first two, the second by spearing him with his sword across the width of the room like somebody in a bloody gleeman's tale, he took this from the last fellow, which is a dagger, and killed him with it. They had 4 near identical daggers between them. This one is poisoned.
Oh, fuck. That's definitely murder time.
Nynaeve goes, those brown stains on the blade are grey fennel mixed with powdered peach pit. Because, did you know peaches are poisonous in the Wheel of Time?
Peach pits actually are poisonous.
Yes, but also I think peaches are just poisonous.
But peach pits are poisonous.
Yeah, as are cherry pits. They have
I know,
cyanide in them.
Because here's what happened.
Yes, go ahead, Allie.
I've known for a long time that pits, a lot of them, contain trace amounts of arsenic.
Cyanide.
I knew it was one of those. And so, because I think back when I was listening to murder podcasts before I realized they were actively bad for me to listen to, there was somebody who killed somebody by like grounding up peach pits and putting them in their things.
Probably.
So I'm eating cherries one day, as I'm wont to do, because I enjoy them.
They're good.
And I was eating them, and a peach pit broke open in my mouth. Now, my first instinct was to go, well, it's probably not a lot of cyanide, right?
It's not.
But then I sat with it for a minute, and I was like, but what if it is enough cyanide to kill me, and I'm the asshole who gets poisoned because I don't want to bother poison control.
And good on you.
Which would be a really fucking dumb thing to do.
Yes, good on you for calling
could you imagine
poison
you
control
come
and
home?
checking.
Could you imagine you come home, I'm dead.
Because you ate
I ate a fucking cherry pit. One broke open in my mouth.
Yeah. Good on you for checking.
So I called poison control.
I'm dead ass serious. Good on you for
I
checking.
called poison control.
It is better to be safe than sorry.
And I started the conversation with, now, I'm probably overreacting.
Yeah.
But I will have a panic attack if I don't call. So I'm just calling to ask. I know cherry pits have trace amounts of cyanide. If I, broke one open by accident and it was in my mouth at the time, am I going to die? Or am I fine? I'm probably fine. I just want to triple check. And she goes, you would be fine. Which, for future reference, you would be fine if it's like 1 or 2.
I read it's like not, if you crunch up several, not good.
Not good. Not great. Not good for you. Don't do that. And don't make a habit out of like ingesting cherry pits. You're not supposed to. Which now that I look back at my childhood, I'm like pretty sure I ingested a ton of those.
Well,
but we live and we learn. Because I was too lazy to spit them out.
Yeah.
So I just was like, screw it. And I would swallow them. So I'm sure I have like a freaking load of cyanide in my body already. But yeah, she was very nice about it. I did feel very stupid, but I was I'd rather ask and be told that I'm being overreacting than underreact and then die, because that's really dumb.
Mm-hmm. So Elayne goes, fine, I'll have a bodyguard. Let's say 20 women. And they start picking out women. She goes, all right, who should we have lead them? And they're like, obviously, we have this bodyguard of all, isn't it mostly cool ladies so far? Obviously,
Shouldn't be one of them.
Let's have it just be this guy. I'm so tired. It's the green one.
No.
Oh, you stupid boy.
No! God, please, no! No!
It's all of them.
Mm-hmm.
All of it.
So she's like, what about that guy who conveniently saved me?
Robert Jordan's like, I know what we should do.
What do we know? I'm going to make this very quick because I don't want to focus on this guy too much. What do we know about Doylan Mellar? What is his reputation?
He has a habit of, sexually harassing / assaulting people. And Elayne's like, well, he's not going to sexually harass or assault me, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Elayne.
He pinches.
Fuck you so much.
He smiles a lot, mainly at women. He pinches serving girls, and he's tumbled 3 in 4 days that I know of. He likes to talk about his conquests, but he hasn't pressed anyone who said no.
I'm sorry. If you're pinching people, you're a fucking assailant.
It's already bad, bud.
Fuck you.
So she's like,
fuck David Hanley. And fuck Elayne for enabling his behavior. Fuck you,
that's
Elayne.
The other thing is
fuck David Hanley more, obviously.
She goes, he's not going to harass me. And I'm like, what about the women under his command or anybody else?
20 women that you are subjecting to his daily harassment. To jail.
So anyway, we're going to skip most of
this. The
Wheel
of Time jail is very full.
It's crowded.
In fact, I can't think of very many characters who don't live there.
And she's like, hey, no, it's good. He's rewarded for a job well done. Definitely not,
a job that he started.
So they're like, all right, that being done. Did he just
happen to show up in the nick of time? Don't you think we should question that a smidgen?
So that being done, we're like, hey, tell you what, it's time to, go meet with Egwene. And then Brigitte, they talk, okay, so we talked to, all right, they get out the dream ring, they go into Talyr and Brigitte is okay, nothing happens. They go to Talyr and Riyadh, we're gonna talk to Egwene, it's gonna be a good time. Elayne looks up at the throne room, the frescoes, and has another, like Rand did that one time, but her relationship to them is different, which makes sense. It's a nice character moment. And then it is. There's not a lot to talk about.
I just enjoyed your face and hands during
It's a nice character moment.
It's a nice character moment.
By the way, whatever. So Nynaeve shows up, and then Egwene shows up, and they talk, and Egwene is like, hey, everybody, it's me before we gatewayed to Tar Valon. Don't worry, we're not at Tar Valon yet. We're gonna do that later. This happens before that. This is in the month waiting period. We haven't gotten to the part where I gateway to Tar Valon yet. You want to learn what happens after I gateway to Tar Valon to begin the siege of Tar Valon?
Yes.
That's gonna have to wait, girlies.
No! How could he do this to us? He's had Matt under a wall for a book and a half. Yeah. And now Egwene is hanging out at Tar Valon for a book and a half.
Well, she's not there yet, though. This happens before she gateways to Tar Valon.
Going to die.
So Egwene is like, I
can only hold back the ADHD so long.
Egwene is like, hey, we got some cool novices. Sharina Malloy is old as shit, but I think you'd like her, Nynaeve. And Nynaeve is like, beg your fucking pardon, Sharina Whomst? And she's like, well, you remember in book 2 when I had that accepted test?
Yeah.
There was a woman in my future vision named Sharina Malloy. Wonder if there's anything to dig into here, or if it's something that we'll never talk about again. What do you think, Allie?
Is that the woman who fucked up the two rivers?
No, this is when she was in the future with Lan and they had children in Malkir. They talked about a Shoreacres
gonna,
Sedai.
live in Malkir, and they're definitely going to have children. But it could be a coincidence, but probably
Same exact
not.
name, who is also a channeler.
Okay, but haven't we run into
First
some
and
people with the
last
same
name.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's a little less. Okay. So, I mean, but I think that they will retake Malkir.
That would
I
make
think
sense.
Nynaeve and Lan will probably have, quintuplets or whatever, because Robert Jordan's like, you know what, we should give to these people with very, in a medieval-esque period where women died in childbirth more than anything else combined. Oh, you know what we're going to do in this world where, we have magic, but every other kind of medicine is random herbs. And we don't know about germs yet. You know what we're going to do? We're going to have, litters of children at once.
Yeah, you had a lot of thoughts about that. We'll be getting there shortly.
I just feel that it is silly.
We'll be getting there momentarily. So Elayne is like, hey, Egwene.
Well, and Elayne had twins too.
Yes.
Naturally occurring twins are not that common.
Not that common, no.
Usually they're the results of some kind of artificial stuff.
Often.
There's certainly genetic things and spontaneous twins
They're
and
not
things like that.
uncommon, but they're not super common.
But then triplets, quadruplets, naturally
get
occurring
there.
quadruplets. I
know.
looked it up. It's 1 in 600
I
million.
know, we'll get there. So she's like, hey, Egwene, quick question before we get any further. We nixing the 3 oaths, girl? Is that what's happening, or what's Elayne say?
Nixon 3 oaths. Yes.
No, I'm all about that shit. I fucking love them.
The 3 oaths are
absolutely
dumb.
quintessential.
They're dumb. No one else follows them.
Quintessential to the DNA of being an Aes Sedai.
Fucking stupid.
They're absolutely amazing. I'm
No.
obsessed with them.
They're
I had them
fucking stupid.
tattooed on my ass. It's great.
Elayne would have an ass tattoo because Liz, she wouldn't want anyone to know she had one, but she would want to have one.
And Nynaeve was like, okay, but hold on, wait a minute. The oath rod is cutting our lifespans in half.
Yeah, that's fucking
This
stupid.
is stupid. Rihanna is the eldest. Rihanna was named eldest because she was the oldest kinswoman in Abu Dar. The oldest anywhere is a woman named Aloysia Nemosny, an oil merchant in Tyr. Egwene, she's nearly 600 years old. And Egwene is like, yeah, but I don't fucking give a shit. And then she does a backflip.
I want to punch so many characters lately. It's staggering. It's wild. They've all taken punchability pills.
She says,
you know how people say that your characters took stupid pills? They didn't take stupid pills. They took, how punchable can I be pills.
So Egwene is like, all right, here's the plan. You take the oath to be an Aes Sedai, and then when you're done, instead of just going to fuck off to a farm, you unswear the oaths, and then you retire into being a kinswoman. But, I don't know if the oath rod...
But we don't know if that's gonna... We don't...
No, we don't.
We don't know what the effects of that are.
No. We don't know if you get the years back.
We don't know if these women that are older than, you can be when you take the oath rod.
If they would just die.
If they would just fucking instantly die.
Yeah, or if it, doubles your life speed, because it's just stressful to have because, again, the oath rod was used... it's not really a spoiler. I think you've discovered this already.
Prisoners.
The oath rod was a prisoner punishment tool.
Yeah. It wasn't meant to be used for this.
So they're like, all right, yeah, sure, we can discuss that. That might work. That's kind of cool. We can talk about that. And then she rubs her forehead.
That's kind of fucking dumb.
And Nynaeve is like, your headache's still giving you a hard time?
I think that we will take more oaths when the Black Tower does.
Yeah, the Black Tower doesn't take any, do they?
No! They don't take a single fucking oath. So they can have... we'll take our oaths when the Black Tower has to take some. How about that?
Do your headaches still trouble you? I'd think if that woman's massages did any good, you'd stop having them. And Egwene is like, don't you talk bad about Big Titty Maid Girl. I love Big Titty Maid Girl's magic fingers. That should be the title. That really should.
Make it the title, please.
I can't, but it should be.
You have to. I say you must. Big titty girl's magic fingers.
And then they're like, who the fuck is that at the door? And they turn around and it's a guy who looks like Rand, but older. He could be Rand's uncle. Who's that, Allie? Who is Rand's literal real-life uncle?
Luke?
Yeah, what's he doing here?
Being ominous.
And then he runs away.
But that's weird because he was in the real world before.
Yeah, apparently either he forgot or they can kind of jump back and forth however they want.
So he can either be Luke or Esam?
I guess.
Wherever he goes?
I guess.
See, I feel like that would be a fun, like, supernatural sitcom.
Yeah.
Like, he can be Luke or Esam, but he can't get the girl.
But Egwene is like, well, this guy clearly doesn't know how to do Talaran Riyadh because he's opening doors and shit. That was funny. I'm sorry. Also, he was wearing a Shanaran coat.
He can change into anyone, but he can't change her mind. Ooh, studio audience. They would eat that shit up.
And they talk about the Borderlanders in Bram Wood, and Elayne thinks the kings and queens are there, and Egwene doesn't know what to do about anything else. And Elayne is like, oh shit, great plan, everybody. What Roydran is doing with the wandering army in Murundi, I'm gonna do that with the Borderlanders. It'll totally work.
Now, this isn't a bad plan, but I don't feel like it'll totally work.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like because women can't win. I don't know. Because, I mean, that would require the Borderlanders to, like, stay in the area, and they're actively not staying in that area.
They've been in Bram Wood for a while.
Oh. Then I don't know.
So we switch to Asni. How's she? Remember her?
Looking for a better name.
Yeah. Who is this?
I don't remember.
Kindergarten class.
Oh,
it's the kindergarten class.
Oh, we can skip this.
Yeah, what do they do here? What is going on?
David Hanlon's the worst.
David Hanlon's the worst. So they kind of talk about stuff for a while. Actually, this isn't even David Hanlon. This is a whole section before David Hanlon comes in.
They talk about how they've had a string of failures.
Yeah, we also learn that 3 of Asni's 4 warders are not Dark Friends, and they are pursuing her with intent to kill. So that's cool.
Whoa, because there was that question, like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah, 3 of her 4 warders are not Dark Friends. And
Well, that seems like a mistake she made.
And they have the Balefire stick.
Well, what good does that do them?
No. Asni and the kindergarten class have the Balefire stick.
So she's going to balefire her own warders? That's fucked up.
She's like, if I have to, I will. But yeah, does anything of note happen in this section?
Not particularly, but that is an interesting thing because, like, I have been asking. Now, it begs the question, why the fuck didn't they kind of suspect her?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to keep a secret from yourself.
Oh, also, where are they?
Where are...
The kindergarten class?
They're in the wood?
They're in Camelin.
They're in Camelin.
Because they just kind of, like, happen to be wherever Elayne is. Because, I don't know, they're here now.
They just love to be where Elayne is.
Yeah. Does anything significant happen?
They still think Nynaeve and Elayne are accepted, right?
Yep. Oh, wait. Maybe her warders are not pursuing with intent to kill. It's not clear.
Oh, it's not clear?
I assume they are pursuing with intent to kill. No, the others would do whatever she said, believe whatever she told them. Okay, well, never mind.
Oh.
Kind of dumb of them, but all right.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, anyway, any thoughts on any of that?
Well, good for her that she got a bunch of himbo warders.
I guess. So then we switch to...
They're giving Ken doll vibes.
We switch to your girl and mine, Millie Skane, and this is going to be very, very, very brief.
Here's the thing.
Or do you want to just...
Is she our girl?
No, she sucks.
Yeah.
But also, you know, she's more interesting than most of the other Dark Friends, although she also
she's definitely
sucks.
more interesting.
Anyway, do you want to talk about any of this?
So I guess Phaelian is still alive.
Phaelian's alive.
We thought she was dead.
And yeah.
Because it seemed like they were going to do
beer
what
bong
they
her
did
to death, yeah.
beer bong her to death.
And if you forgot, David Hanlon comes in and he just like drive-by gropes Phaelian because apparently, according to Robert Jordan's own words, part of her punishment is David Hanlon. So we're gonna...
Yeah, we're skipping
No!
it.
Yeah.
God, please, no! No!
We're skipping it.
No!
Yeah.
No!
He's Doylan Mellar. Oh my god, we didn't see that coming. Alright, great, end of the chapter.
He let me skip it this time.
Chapter 11, Allie, is called Ideas of Importance. That's the logo. What is it? Notes?
I think so. Okay, this is for the next 2 chapters.
Go ahead.
Okay, because I forgot to mark when I changed chapters.
That's fine.
So I was a little inebriated when I wrote this.
Good.
Okay. I'm going to give every sentence its sexist subtext, okay? Now, this is just a joke to myself that may or may not be funny. We may or may not cut this.
Right.
I was like, this is said as a joke. I'm not calling Rojo a sexist. Calm down. Okay. He wanted to gag, to double over and spew up everything in him. So imagine how a woman would feel, am I right? Holding himself upright was an effort because he has such a manly, robust frame, am I right? He had been sure he would not find servants cleaning up because that's a woman's job, am I right?
Oh my god.
Okay, so then I got bored of that.
Yeah.
So I was doing that for like every sentence for a second.
Yeah.
They said, Rojo, I don't need to hear about someone's taint oozing into anything, okay? Sounds nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Ew, he's wishing men were still in her dress. Ew.
Oh, you stupid boy.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
You know what I want to hear all of nothing about? What men want women to wear.
Yes.
I want to hear so little about that. So little about that. And I want that to not ever be very much factored into the equation.
No.
Ever. Like, I mean, listen, I don't necessarily begrudge someone going like, oh, you look nice in blue. Like, that's one thing, right? That's like, whatever. But it would be shitty if like hating blue was a whole part of that person's identity.
Yeah.
That was a bad metaphor.
I understand where you're going with
but
it.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, Nin's
whole
comfort
thing.
and identity is that she likes to wear pants.
Yeah.
Hard same. I'm more of a pants wearing person. I will wear a dress on occasion. I used to wear them a lot more, but then COVID made me realize that pants are better. And I have a hard time going back.
I like
now
pants.
that I know what I know.
I like sweatpants.
I love sweatpants. You converted to sweatpants.
I was stupid in the day.
Well, because I was like, why are you wearing jeans?
I was
It's
stupid back in the
COVID.
day.
Okay. I kind of get annoyed by how much emphasis Rand puts on loving each of them equally, like they're all the same. Now, okay, before people start typing, I understand that he loves them the same in like I don't prefer one of you over the other. I love you all equally. Like, I get that you can be in a polyamorous relationship and like everyone loves each other and it's like all beautiful and I love that for them. But one of you is funnier than the other, right? Like, who's the funny one?
It's Elayne,
Who's the
but
one
she
with the
doesn't
better
think she is.
stories?
It's Min.
Who, right? Like, who's the one who, like, is the best, you know, in best physical shape, right? Like, who's the best athlete?
Right.
That's probably Avanda, right? Like,
Yeah, it'd be Avienda, yeah.
to me,
Who
it's
can
like,
run the fastest mile?
I get the sentiment behind, like, I love all of you the same, but I also keep hearing, like, in my mind, I'm like, women are all the same. And I know that's not the intent. I know that's not what they're trying to say. And I know that that's not it. But I would love, in addition to the I love you all equally, for also their individual personhood to be acknowledged.
Be good.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Who did you think was the funniest? Min, probably, right?
Elayne, but she's not trying to be.
Well, Elaine's the funniest. Yeah, of the funniest.
Elayne is
not
the
intentionally.
accidental funniest.
Yeah, because like each of you brings something different to the table, right? When you're in a polyamorous relationship, I assume, having never been in one myself, but like we're not all the same person.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm looking again forward at when he confesses his love to all of them, and he just goes, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you all the same. He doesn't actually talk about them.
See, and here's my problem. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Is it kind of is giving...
They talk about him.
It's kind of giving guy at a bar who wants to get laid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like, it's so vague how he loves them. And he just kind of is like, I love you all the same. And to me, it's giving like, I'm going to say I love you so that I can get laid.
I think he does. I think the intention is that the character does earnestly love all three of them.
I understand that the intention is that the character loves all of them. I'm saying that because he's so vague, and I think like, maybe it's him trying to be delicate, because like then you also don't want him to be like, man, you're the funniest, and like,
but that's
you're
not,
the this and you're the that. You're all like not a complete woman.
It doesn't have to be a superlative, because when they bond him, all of
it's
them,
not like a high school yearbook.
All
but
of
like,
them. Well,
best eyes.
I've got a thing to jump off of on this.
Please,
it's not. It doesn't have to be a superlative, but when they bond him, each of them talks about specific things about him as a person that they are impressed by, or that they find, you know, oh my God, your pain, whatever. They like talk about how strong he is, and they all go into these individualized and personalized praises of him that relate to how they feel about him.
Yes.
And unless I am forgetting,
super sincere, because it all comes from like
them as a character.
Them as a character, and they don't get the same treatment back.
He just tells them, I love all three of you, but it can't be. And then they bond him.
Yeah.
And then he fucks Elayne. But like, that's something I hadn't realized or thought about until you just pointed it out. They praise him.
Yeah.
He does not differentiate between the three of them in this moment.
He doesn't personalize anything.
Which is their de facto wedding. Like, and this moment feels as though it's a wedding between the four of them.
And that's what bugs me.
But like, his contribution is essentially, yes, I'm down with this, now I'm gonna go knock Elayne up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get he's traumatized, etc., yes.
And listen, I think I'm particularly sensitive to it because my love language is words of affirmation. Yeah. Like, to me, being told that I am special to someone in some way is vital.
Yeah.
It's very important, because that's just, I just need to be told that I'm great a lot. I just do, because otherwise I start to forget it. And so to me, it's like when you have this guy who just says, I love you, and it's so vague. And I understand that not everyone is a words person. Like, they show their love in different ways, but like, how is he showing them their love, his love? Like, what is like, he gave Avienda a couple gifts books ago.
Yeah. And he has thought.
He's made out with Elayne.
He has thought compliments about all of them.
But he never says anything.
Pretty much.
To them.
He tells Min that he feels comfortable around her, but like, I feel like this is the great outpouring of love moment.
And he doesn't do it.
Maybe that's the point. Maybe the point is he can't express it. But also, like, the idea behind the veins of gold is that he loves, I guess, maybe the point is he can't put into words.
They can feel it, so he doesn't have to say it.
I guess, maybe. But it does kind of bug me.
But I guess because I don't know what veins of gold means.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that I had to ask for clarification about that. Like, I'm not feeling what those feelings are. Like, they are. And I'm a little like, if I were a impartial person in this room with them, I'd be like, okay, so they all love him way more than he loves them.
Sure. I think the idea behind...
it's like if we showed up at a wedding and the bride gives this amazing, beautiful speech. Like, she has all these vows that are super personal and wonderful and amazing. And the guy goes, you're great. I love you. Let's get married. You'd be like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd be a little... I mean, we've seen that before. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I get it, yeah.
And you always kind of leave going... Does he like her? Did he meet her today? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get, again, that there are people who are not wordy people. But there's like other ways to show that, though.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there are other ways to show it, to show that they matter as individuals to him, not just as like I have 3 girlfriends. Nice. I love them all the same. They're really great. They do a lot for me. That's the other thing that drives me nuts, is when people go, I love you because of the things you do for me.
Yeah.
Both are unacceptable.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's like, Nynaeve's not the wordiest person when it comes to love, but you can tell she loves Lan because of the things she does, right? But I mean, it honestly was giving like, I can't tell you three apart. You're all kind of the same to me, which is why I love you all the same.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the intention here. It's not the intention here. But the focus was very much on Rand.
It is. Yeah, it is.
And the women are equally sacrificing a lot to make this relationship work. Actually, I think they're sacrificing more than me. Way more.
They're bonding a man who they expect will go mad and die in the imminent future.
Yeah. So then why the fuck, to me, is the relation, like, can't Rand say a couple nice things to each of them? It bugged me.
I get it.
I was a little like, what? I love you all the same. You're all the same.
I don't love either any of you more or less than the others.
Which, like, that's important in this triad thing that we've got going on, right? Like, I guess that should be established and explicit. But you can be like, but I love about you this. I love about you this. And I love about you this. I love you all the same. Well, it's like, okay, if you are a parent, right? You're out there, you're a parent. You say you love all of your children equally, and you do.
Yeah.
And you should.
Yeah.
But you also acknowledge that they're not all the same person.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is even with the idea of veins of gold being he loves them but can't show how or why, there is still just, oh, yes, you love all of us.
Right,
Period, end of sentence.
It feels like they're all a unit.
Yeah.
As opposed to individual women who are in a relationship with this man who happen to all love this person.
Yeah.
It just felt like all of a sudden none of them had a personality anymore.
I get it. Yeah. And I mean, the people will, you know, in a sort of mocking way call them Rand's harem. And in a way, it reads that way at times.
It does.
You know?
Well, in this moment too, where it's like, this is his time. This is his time for the, like, I will hate the man. This is his time.
This is his land moment. This is his time to say something.
For a moment. And I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not asking for him to be as poetic as Lan. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not asking him to deliver. And I get that this is kind of coming for him out of nowhere, but it kind of feels like now is an important time, not just to reassure them that they're all loved equally, but that they're loved by him specifically.
Well, this is the other thing. You jokingly give me a lot of shit sometimes because I started formulating my speech for my good friend whose best man I am months before his wedding, but I hadn't started our vows a week before our wedding. And as I said to you then, I don't have to think about it with you. I don't have to think about why I love you, right? Whereas with other people who are not you, I need to put it into words, right? I need to take the time to figure out how to put it into words.
Yeah. Like if I said, why do you love me? You could come up with a lot of reasons right now.
Yeah.
Right?
So Rand doesn't even have to be prepared for this.
I could probably ask you why you love me, and every day I get a different response.
Answer, yeah. But like, I don't know. I agree with you. I feel like Rand should be able to, even if he is 20 and awkward and everything else, he should be able to come up with some differentiation and explanations and, you know, nice things to say for why he loves each of them. As opposed to it being, yep, love you. And I haven't fucked you yet, so we're gonna go fuck.
I'm gonna be real. Like, if this were the way that he handled this moment and I was involved in this group, I'd be like, you know what? You two can have him. Because I'm not here to be a harem. I'm here to be in a relationship that happens to include other people.
Yeah.
And that's great for all of us if we're all cool with that. But like, I still want to feel like I'm valued as an
individualized member of this relationship.
And I'm not just one of three people that happen to be sleeping with him.
Yeah. And it does feel to me a little bit like gotta check that box, no pun intended, when Elayne is like, you haven't fucked me yet, so let's go.
I mean, I didn't mind.
I don't mind it.
You know, here's my thing. Here's my thing that I thought was weird. Here's my thing that a little bit I was kind of like,
and I understand she wants to have sex with him too.
And there's no problem with
nothing
that.
wrong with that.
I thought it was a little weird where she was like, Avienda and Min have something I haven't had.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, again, we have to all be the same.
That's what I meant by that. Yeah.
Right? Like we have to all be the same. We have to all be on the same. It's like, it's a little weird. I would hope that you wouldn't love people all the same, you know, like, cause everybody's different. And I guess, yeah, that's the thing that bothers me is it's like, I feel like some important nuance was missed. I'm like, yeah, he's 20, but I feel like there was just kind of like a weird erasure to me of their like individual personalities, even when we were also like highlighting their individuality when they were addressing him. He didn't give them that courtesy of highlighting their individuality back.
Yeah.
And that bothered me.
Yeah.
That felt like I got my 3 women.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was just something weird to me about.
Well, maybe down the line,
It felt perfunctory.
Yes, maybe down the line there is more differentiation. Maybe down the line he gets more into the detail of, you know, why he cares about each one of them individually. Maybe it's not just like, hooray, my 3 ladies later. Maybe there is more. Because
the reason why so many people love Lan's speech, right, is it's not necessarily even that it's like a romantic speech. It's like about Nynaeve. I mean, he says, you're a lioness.
You are a lioness, wisdom, yeah.
Yeah. He talks about her personality, what he appreciates about her.
Yeah.
Right? And he says it in a beautiful way. But he could just as much say, like, I love this about you.
Mm-hmm.
And people be like, wow, that's amazing. Because because it doesn't have to be pretty for you to be able to tell someone what you appreciate about them. It doesn't have to be flowery poetry. Just say what you appreciate about people because they like to hear it.
Yeah.
And
well, you know, to make another point,
especially in a moment that feels as close to a wedding as you can get before actually doing a wedding.
We drag the shit out of Perrin on this podcast, but the way Perrin talks about, thinks about, you know, reflects on Fail is incredibly personalized.
Yeah.
It's extremely specific. It's extraordinarily, these are the things I love about her. This is so great about her. She's so cool about this, that, and the other. Yeah, we could drag him to hell and back for, like, not wanting her to do anything dangerous, etc. I get it. But
the wedding was gorgeous.
Their wedding scene is, yeah, it's heartbreakingly beautiful.
It's stunning. So, we have seen people appreciate, I mean, fucking Rourke.
Yeah.
As another one, appreciates the shit out of Amis and has another wife who's clearly he loves differently.
Yeah.
They're different women.
Yep.
They have different personalities.
One is a wise one, the other one is a roof mistress.
He actually behaves differently
yes.
around each wife,
yes.
depending on like what they need. Cause like with Amis, they like stared at each other from across the thing, right? But with Leon, he like went up and hugged her.
Yeah.
That was it's a different kind of relationship.
Yeah.
It's a different need that each woman has. And, like, they treat each other differently.
And they have their own relationship.
Relationship.
Yeah.
The other two, Avienda met Min today.
Pretty much. Yeah, this is her meeting Min, isn't it?
Yeah, because she goes, let's have a drink and get to know each other.
Yeah. We're all part of this guy's...
So we, like, kind of just got married.
Yeah.
Because, like, whether or not, like, if they're all with the same person, right? They're kind of in a relationship themselves.
Yeah.
It's not maybe necessarily a sexual relationship, but they're kind of like with each other now forever.
And they are kind of, it's a four-way bond.
Are they also in each other's heads?
A little bit, I think.
Like, I think by extension, right? There's like...
I believe so, yes. Because it was a single weave that bonded all of them.
Right. So are they also... They're not bonded to each other.
They are not each other's water. Here's one of the things...
Can they sense one another a little bit?
So
how does it work?
You know... Robert Jordan, to his credit, makes rules and then he goes, fuck it, and he changes them.
Yeah.
This is
familiar with Jem.
This is a case, which, by the way, I support that. This is a case where it's like, this doesn't make any sense how this works metaphysically. It doesn't make sense that you can bring a non-channeler in and give her a warder. None of this works by the rules he's established. But I don't care because, you know, plot-wise, sure, we wanted this to happen and it works. That's fine. So the question of whether or not they're in each other's heads, good question. It's kind of hard to give exact precedent for it because it doesn't exactly make any sense with how the warder bond works previous to this.
Can I say, though, I was right that they all bond?
Yeah, you were. You were dead on with that.
Dead on.
And you were right that the next time Rand and Elayne would see each other, they would be fucking.
I was right about that.
Yeah.
So I'm smug. But I'm also a little like, couldn't he have said, like, I mean, because they are all also very distinct.
Extremely distinct people.
Yeah, and I didn't like that before that, he was like, I miss Min in a dress. I'm like, so her personhood doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
The clothes that, and I guess maybe for me, it's a combination of me being a words of affirmation person. So I'm like, you couldn't even say like one nice thing about each of them. because they are different, and I think they would acknowledge that they're different. Avienda and Elayne certainly do in their sister ceremony, whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was actually better.
This book we got that
was like actually pretty gorgeous. Some of the stuff they said about each other, and
tremendous.
Like, some of the stuff was kind of brutal.
Yeah,
but that was like because they wanted them to say brutal things about each other.
I have to think the intention was that Rand just couldn't. But I don't know, man. Like,
I know he's got a lot going on. It just felt like it again feels like Avienda and Elayne feel more for each other than Rand feels for either of them.
Yeah,
it honestly feels like Rand is closest to Min.
Yeah. It does. He spends the most time with her.
Yeah, I think he's the most. I think he protests too much. I think he loves Min the most.
Yeah. And people will get very, very understandably upset when you compare the wives in a very Six the Musical way, because they shouldn't be compared.
We saw Six the Musical last night.
It's a very good musical.
Amazing.
You should see it if you can. They shouldn't be compared as this sort of superlative thing relative to Rand. They are all completely independent individual people, but yeah, I think he kind of has.
I'm not asking him to compare them.
I'm not. I'm clarifying.
Yeah, but I'm not asking him to compare them. I'm asking him to celebrate their individuality.
Yeah, and I do think it feels to me in the text, as you say.
Sorry, can I say one last thing? To me, I'm asking him to do the opposite of compare them.
Yeah.
I'm asking him to contrast them.
Yes.
Like they are all individuals.
Yeah.
That can be uplifted individually. That we can love them the same, but their individual personhood should matter.
It does feel in the text to me at this point as though he is far and away closest to Min.
But then at the same time, he's like, but I'm going to like kind of wish that that one of the things that defines you as a person
is different.
Yeah. And
in a very, and I don't like this term, kind of trad wifey way.
Yes, it is. Why aren't you in a dress? And also, while we're at it, make you barefoot and pregnant. Like, what?
No, that's the other two.
But
don't worry, we'll get there.
Oh my God. And then, are we sure that Avienda shouldn't kill 2 of her 4 so that they can all be the same? Ha! Ugh. I'm just saying. I'm exaggerating for emphasis, but like, my God. So, what was the other thing? Oh, I think because also I'm a person who's neurodivergent, clothes are very important to me. In terms of comfort and things like that. Like I select my clothes very purposefully and carefully because there are some things I can't wear.
Yeah.
And the idea of someone like of a man in my life wanting to control what I wear is fundamentally like a big ick.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And I know he doesn't like express those things to her, but like, I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way. It's giving like, imagine you are a person who collects Star Wars collectibles.
Sure.
And you move into your wife's house and she's like, this doesn't fit my aesthetic. We're throwing them all away. Or like, I hate them and but it's like, it's one of those things that's like a fundamental cornerstone of that person's personality.
Yeah.
So like, don't marry the person if you can't handle that. If you want to change them.
Or compromise. I have a bunch of nerd shit. I have a ton of nerd shit in this house that probably was not part of your Pinterest board as a child for what your adult house would look like.
It wasn't.
Right?
But that's okay because what we ended up doing was melding our 2 styles together and figuring out compromises so that neither of us felt like we were giving up our individuality or our personhood for the other.
Because that's not the point.
Right. Well, and it is funny because at different times, both of us have expressed like, oh gosh, I'm worried about like losing my like ability to make decisions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now you have to make decisions together. And so it becomes a worry of like, well, if we disagree on something, like, do I feel like I'm giving up too much of my like individuality to make you happy?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like a weird balance thing that you have to figure out, especially once you make the commitment to be together forever. It's like, oh yeah, that means that I can't just like move when I want to. And I can't just do this when I want to because it affects another person. I can't necessarily be selfish all the time. What was I saying?
We're talking about Rand wishing Min were in dresses is how we got here.
Oh yeah. But then I was talking to my therapist about it and I was like, because we had a point where both of us were like, how do we both feel like we're relinquishing power in this relationship? And he goes, because you're married.
Yeah.
And you're actually doing it right. You are compromising.
Mm-hmm.
So like both of you lose a little and both of you win a little, you're doing a good job. And I was like, oh, good. And then once we realized that, everything was like peachy keen again.
Hunky-dory, yeah.
But we had a second where we were both like, why do both of us feel frustrated with like the power and like us feeling like we don't have the power in this relationship? It's like, oh, because both of you do, but also both of you don't.
Right.
And that's like for the first time in your lives, you're not necessarily always going to be in the driver's seat. So it's interesting, but yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with being like, when my parents come over, I'd like for you to, not wear something that says dicks on it.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Right.
Right? That's not me trying to change your entire fundamental personality.
Don't wear the t-shirt that says I fucking love tacos necessarily, as a for instance.
I mean, with some of my parents, you can wear that shirt.
That is a shirt your father owns. Yes.
But then my stepmom is like, you can't wear that in a place children might be.
Right.
Because we don't want to hurt. We don't want to like make parents have to explain that.
The word fuck.
The F word.
Yeah.
And that's fair, right? That's fair. He can wear it in the house where he's happy.
Different from Rand thinking to him.
Different.
I don't know, man. Especially that happens in the chapter right before they have a 4-way bond.
Yeah, and I feel like because it's so specifically so connected to her identity
and it's just,
her
it's
comfort.
Really loaded. That
like
particular image is very loaded. I wish my wife wore dresses.
And like she says, here's the other thing. She has already given up so much for him.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really had to compromise much to meet her needs. And this is the difference.
Yeah.
Because it's like both of us are compromising equally. And so sometimes we feel frustrated and feel like we didn't get our way, but that's like part of life, right?
Yeah.
That's being married. You don't always get to have your way, and that's fine as long as there's a balance being struck.
Yeah.
And you're finding a good solution and a good compromise forward. With Min, she is the one sacrificing everything so far. Mm-hmm. Like, I get that Rand is sacrificing everything he has for the world, but he's not meeting her halfway with a lot of the things that she has to give up, right?
He's letting her come to more meetings than he'd like.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you. He's basically doesn't have to sacrifice for the relationship at all.
Yeah. And to me, I think that's what's raising my hackles.
Well, the other thing, I don't know, man, is kind of like, he shows up, knocks Elayne up, and then leaves a flower on her pillow and leaves.
Yeah.
And I understand that is like, yes, he's busy. He cannot necessarily, and they're all okay with this. I know. It's just a little bit of me that's like, but you can Zoom her. You can go anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's also that when he's with Min, he makes no effort to see either of Yanda or Elayne, too. And I get that he thinks he will that they'd be safer. Well, I fucking would hope so. At this point, he's made some semblance of a commitment to them.
And he, admittedly, I suppose we're leaving this out, they are all now constantly aware of where the others are and can feel them. So I guess there's that connection.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's not the same as having breakfast together.
It certainly is not fucking the same. I could turn my location on my phone and you'd know where the fuck I was, but you wouldn't know, whether I was safe.
The bond, I understand the bond, yes. The bond does not necessarily... I don't think the bond is a substitute for quality time. That's how I'll put it.
Well, and that's your love language.
That is my love language.
And so that's making you feel sensitive because you're like, well, what about your quality time? You have to have quality time.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's
actually talk about this chapter.
No.
After some ads. All right, Allie. Here we go.
Yep. What's up?
It's going to be a short episode. We're going to rip through... No.
Well, okay.
That was me. It was me making fun of myself, to be clear.
You know what's fun?
What?
Is the comedy inherent in that for the people who listen to us say that in the past?
Yes, they already know.
And they already know.
They see the timestamp and they go, you putz, Gus.
You dumb, dense fucks. Anyway.
All right, but we've got 2 chaps left.
We got 2 chaps. We're going to barrel through them.
Ideas of importance.
Like another hour. I know. What if?
It could happen. It's happened before. It'll happen again. Although we talked about most of the... Well, that's not true. Well, a lot of the other stuff... in that
Well, we got
chapter.
one big event
One
we gotta
big thing
talk
we got to
about.
touch on. Without even taking a look, Rand stepped through the gateway into a large, dark room. The strain of holding the weave of fighting Saidin made him sway. He wanted to gag, to double over and spew up everything in him.
Imagine how women would feel, am I right?
I know, Rand, I just read flags too. I know. Holding himself upright was an effort. Da-da-da-da-da. So how's Rand?
Great.
Yeah, he's having
He's
a
doing
wonderful
excellent.
time.
Just like he is every chapter,
Balling
honestly.
out of control.
He's just good time after good time after good time.
Sounds like the kind of guy who's down for a multi-hour fuck sesh.
Yeah. He was trying to hold the weave, and soon he'll be trying to hold something else.
He checks Min out for a while, and he starts doing the,
Don't do that in front of the other women.
he starts doing the thumb thing with his earlobe.
And then he does my least favorite thing.
Oh, we don't have to talk about that anymore.
I wish he was wearing a dress.
Where is that? I don't see that. I trust you that it's here. Oh, yeah.
Because then later she goes, I can't give up my pants for you.
He goes, I was just thinking how beautiful you are. And she goes, I abandoned my horse for you, Randall Thor. I curled my hair for you. I gave up my life for you. I will not give up my coat and breeches.
Preach.
Does he ask her to? Does he say anything?
Wasn't, but he thought it. He did think it over here. He thought...
He wished she had been willing to stay in a dress, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well...
No! God, please, no! No!
Let women wear what they want. He does, admittedly, but, you know.
But, like,
Yes.
in all ways.
Yes. Alright, so he goes, let's get the fuck out of here ASAP, because my girlfriend might be here and she hates me. And Min is like, maybe you should talk to both of them?
Yes.
And he's like, no, I would literally rather die.
Communication. In my wheel of time. Today. We're doing it. Radical change. Burn it all down.
He says, alright, we're gonna find Nynaeve and Matt and get the fuck out of here. Why does he think Matt's here?
Because he thinks that Matt is with Elayne.
Yeah, because of that
'Cause-
fetch quest he sent him on
Yes.
2 books ago.
And they're like, no. He's with Egwene. And I'm like, no, you're all wrong.
People talk to Min. They're like, hey, what's up? How you doing? It's been a minute. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, where the fuck is Matt? And Rainey Harford goes, Matt Cotham? I don't believe I know him, unless he's one of the new servants or guardsmen. As for Nynaeve Sedai, she's very busy. I suppose it'll be all right with her if I accept
I'm the dragon reborn. Oh, yeah, he
whatever
doesn't
it
say that.
is and put it in her room. And Rand is like, Nynaeve fucking what? Why the fuck are the Aes Sedai letting her pretend to be an Aes Sedai?
She is an Aes Sedai. That's why.
Where's Matt? He thinks about Matt, and then colors whirl in his head.
That's fucking weird.
Did you remember this happening before?
Yeah.
When is this happening now?
We did Perrin when he thought about Rand.
Perrin thought about Rand and had colors whirl in his
Ta'Viren
head.
shit?
Yes, that is correct. It is literally Ta'Viren shit.
Yeah, that's Ta'Viren shit. What are the colors signifying? Are the colors signifying get Massima to Rand, you fucking idiot? Don't walk.
The colors are signifying the Ta'Viren are thinking about each other.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I don't mind telling you this. That's what's happening here. The Ta'Viren are thinking about each other. And when they think about each other,
Aww.
colors swirl in their heads.
Colors swirl in my head when I think of you.
Now,
too.
maybe this goes somewhere else later. But for right now, when they think about each other, colors swirl in their heads.
You should probably see a doctor about that.
If your color swirl lasts more than 4 hours,
Well, definitely see a doctor then.
Rand is like, how the fuck, Matt not, what the fuck? This is fucking weird. Luz Theron laughs at him.
Because sometimes shit happens on the road. You know? Listen, did Elayne get there or not?
Rand has disguised himself as a crotchety old man, right?
Something like that.
So men can use Mirror of Mists. That was we had a question about that. We were unsure. And now, yes, at least Rand can.
So, this means that why couldn't they just appear, like, teleport into the Aiel camp and grab the women back?
This got a lot of discussion online,
Was totally valid?
There was a lot of discussion. Some of the discussion was they don't want to risk slicing them in half. Some of the discussion was...
Well, then look from above first. Look down. Make sure you're not going to slice them in half. Go, hey, could you stand to the side a little bit? I'm going to be right here. And then slice in there.
Yeah, some of the discussion was, can they use Mirror of Mist? Some of the discussion was...
apparently, yes.
Some of the discussion was, it is out of character for Perrin to think of that right now. Which is, that's... You know what?
Mean!
It's true.
Well, I'm not saying that Perrin would think of it. I'm saying the Ashaman could think of it.
Yeah, but it seems like Taim has trained them to take orders more than anything else.
I'm just saying.
Look, you're right.
The argument was basically, he's too dumb for that.
It was fairly worded. It was like, he's not going to think to do that, which is true. I think that's really funny. Justification. It was hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, but it is. He was like, nah, he's freaking out.
Their argument was, it's Perrin.
Yeah. That was actually Catherine K. the Legend's argument.
That is funny as shit, Catherine.
It was fair. But yeah, a lot of discourse about this. Ultimately, we have settled on, because RJ didn't want it. And you know what? He can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants.
So
I'm just saying, that's what I would have done.
So yeah, Rand is like, anyway, how many Aes Sedai are in here? And she goes, why don't you go and suck a fucking egg, you piece of shit. You old-ass crotchety motherfucker.
Hey.
Before you drop dead on my floor.
Lord Dragon crotchety-ass motherfucker. To you.
It says there's 5, and including the Lady Elayne and Nynaeve Sedai, and Rand is like, okay, 3 real ones then. He's being colossally dismissive of Elayne and Nynaeve.
I know, and that bugged me as well. I'm like, that's your fucking girlfriend, sir.
Now, admittedly, they're all dismissive of each other, so this is a fairly universal thing across our protagonists.
I know, I just didn't like it.
Yes.
I don't like the idea of a man being dismissive of his girlfriend.
Sure. I agree with that.
I stand by that.
So we switch to Nynaeve. What is this whole sort of section here with Nynaeve and like the kin and I think the sea folk too?
Okay.
It's interesting.
So Nynaeve, they've roped into having Nynaeve. Oh, well, first they wanted to see, can shields be broken?
Yes.
So they shielded Nynaeve and gave her to the count of 5 to break the shield.
Right. And we know shields can be broken. It's just hard.
It's just difficult.
Yeah.
But then Nynaeve kind of maybe figured it out, but not in time.
Right.
So then, because 5 seconds isn't enough time to do literally anything.
Hey, it's 1 second short of a D&D action. An action in Dungeons & Dragons is 6 seconds. You can move, attack, and take a bonus action in 6 seconds.
Maybe you can.
Well, that's why you're not a player character.
If I'm a real person, I can't do anything in 6 seconds.
6 seconds?
And pick up my phone in 6 seconds.
Hold on. This is ready? Here we go. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You know, that was actually really triggering as someone who used to dance.
I'm sorry.
No. In a way where, like, I just remember our choreographer going, you have 6 whole seconds to get there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
See, you're
6.
doing
You're
half
telling me
seconds.
you
Those
can't
aren't
get
seconds.
there? Like, but no, but
Your
I was
dance
doing
teacher was a fucking hack. I'm kidding.
But, like, he would take these ginormous
What kind of a chronometer is this guy?
He would take these enormous steps. But anyway, so, dance teachers, why are they so mean?
You know why? It's because they don't have enough alum. Alum, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by the Mines of Andor. Are you having a shitty day? Do you feel like this? Well, womp no longer, because guess what? Alum.
I just was like, I'm going to see how long this goes.
I studied improvisation. I can keep bullshit up for a surprisingly
I
long amount
know.
of
So I
time.
was like, I'm just going to let him rip, and I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to let this happen. Whatever may happen. Just like Elayne let whatever may happen. They fucked.
They did. So yeah, they're sparring, right? Oh, I just punched the microphone. They're sparring, right?
Who is?
Nynaeve and the Sea Folk, and they're like
Kinda, yeah.
sparring and training.
So, you know, they're They're training, and Nynaeve's training them. And
Nynaeve thinks to herself how much she doesn't give a fuck, doesn't make a habit out of giving a fuck about the sea folk.
you and me both, girl.
I think that the sea folk... I'm sorry, were you going to say something else? I feel like I cut you off.
No.
No?
You didn't cut me off.
There's this fascinating thing that happened to me, and hopefully I didn't project this onto you, but this appears to also have happened to you, which is that for the first 5 books, I was like, oh my god.
Topless pirate women?
Like, well, not just topless, but yeah, that's part of it, is like cool pirate women.
That's a big part of it for me.
Yeah, topless pirate women. I know they're merchants, but also they could be pirate women. This is awesome. And then their entire personality became nothing but like working on negotiation and banking related trade things, and I immediately stopped caring.
You know, as somebody who has some family members that do business, when people talk about business or economics, I can't help it. I try really hard to pay attention. I do. And to understand what it is that they do. But after a while, the like Charlie Brown adults start to take over, and it's like wah 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 wah. Bottom line, wah 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 wah.
My favorite abbreviation that I've heard business people use is EBITDA.
That's not even a good abbreviation.
EBITDA, earnings before
interest, maybe?
Interest, taxation, disbursements, and something. Hold on, what is it?
Earnings it's just
before,
not a brain that I have.
Oh, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization.
Yeah, it's just not a, it's just not something that interests my ADHD.
I get on like, I work in IT, right? At a company that does business stuff. And every once in a while I end up on a call with the business people, and they just start like machine gunning out these acronyms.
Oh yeah.
And I have no fucking idea
they
what's
love
going
an acronym, and they love to believe that everyone understands the acronym.
The NAV and the EBITDA. I don't give a fuck.
EBITDA. That's not a good acronym. Do better.
All right, so Nynaeve's sparring. It's cool. It's fun. It's good. You know.
No. I'm not saying that like this particular section was kind of fun.
It's fun.
Was fun.
Not a lot to
this
talk
particular
about.
section was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it. I just also was like, what? You know? But it was good.
Yeah, it's good.
And
it's
then
nice little action.
We got a little action. You know, Nynaeve nearly breaks through the weave, but doesn't do it in time. And then they're like, she looked like she was actually trying. So that's interesting. Maybe you can't break through a shield. But Nynaeve got close, but Nynaeve chose not to tell them that she got close. That she like kind of found the potential vulnerable point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they basically were like, we're going to keep learning from you because you've been a better teacher than the others.
Yeah. I'm sure there's subtext here that we're missing.
But I'm hoping, because here's my thing that I'm concerned about. What?
Go ahead.
Did I cut you off?
No, I know where you're going.
Well, the sea folk treat their teachers really shittily.
Yes, they do, Allie.
So I'm really concerned that they're going to treat Nynaeve really shittily.
Well, they jump her with a circle and immediately put her in the most difficult situation she could possibly handle to see what the maximum limits of her teaching are.
Yeah.
Which is not a cool thing to do.
It's not awesome.
No.
So I'm a little concerned that she's not going to have a very good time, and that will be yet another woman in this that has been brought down a peg.
Well, they do make all the instructors thank them for teaching them, which is
That's
a choice.
fucking crap.
And they treat teachers as though they are the lowest of the low.
See, but that doesn't really necessarily make sense to me, to be honest. Because like with a boat, if you teach someone the right way, that could be life or death.
Yes, they teach.
Right? So you'd think that they'd be more venerable toward teachers because that would be like really important to have people teach well.
Yeah. On a seafolk vessel, a land-dwelling teacher outranked the common deckhands, but only just.
See, that doesn't make sense to me. Am I wrong?
No, I don't know. I don't get it. I think it's because they're not.
What is this, America?
Nynaeve
See,
is
the teachers
obviously
laughed hardest at that.
furious and pissed off about all of this. Talks to Olivia. Says, "What's up, Olivia? Why are you so fucking strong? You're so fucking strong. Like, you're distractingly strong. You're so much stronger than me. I find this distressing." She doesn't think that, but I do. She goes, what the fuck are you doing unattended? You're supposed to be attended at all times. You're like one step below Lanfear, maybe. And you're a ex-Damani.
I gave him the slip.
And she goes,
There wasn't anyone free, so I slipped out by myself.
Oh, that she did give him the slip.
Anyway, if you always guard me, you'll never come to trust me, and I'll never get to kill Suldam.
Whoa.
You ought to be learning from me. You ought to be learning from me. Those Ashaman may say they're weapons, and they aren't bad. I know for a fact, but I'm better.
I like her.
All right. Okay, well, hey, maybe I know how to pop the odd melon.
I'm Team Olivia.
She's cool.
I
don't like that they just arbitrarily made her stronger than Nynaeve, but she's cool. She's cool.
She's like 400, right?
She is over 400 years old.
Damn.
And I
bet she's cool.
She got sprung from being a Damani, and within 2 months, she was like, fuck the slavers. Fuck them, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. I would like to kill every slaver I can find.
No, I'm with Olivia on this one.
I love her.
I like her so much.
Hot
More
take here.
of this energy.
Hot take. Fuck slavers.
Hot take. If you're a slaver, fuck you.
Yeah. What do you think of Olivia from the little bit you got to see of her here?
Every now and then people are like, well, they had their reasons. No!
I don't care.
I don't care at all.
Get better.
Get better reasons.
So what do you think about...
If your civilization is built on the subjugation of people, your civilization is fucked. I don't care if the trains run on time. Fuck your civilization. Okay, tear it down. Burn it. Anyway, burn it all to the ground. What's going on? What did you ask me?
And yes, we do need prison reform. So what do you think?
Yes, we do.
What do you think of Olivia?
And all kinds of reform.
Yeah.
What do I think of her? I think she's cool as fuck. I like her a lot. I am team burn it down.
Nynaeve is like, okay, that's great. But like, regardless, you gotta hang out with the kinswomen still, okay? We can't just have you walking around alone. It kind of makes us all really fucking nervous.
Okay.
And Olivia goes, if you say so. Well, what message do you want me to take back to Mistress Corley? And she's like, doesn't matter.
To not let you wander by yourself?
So, Olivia, I just like this, I like to meet Olivia here.
I like Olivia.
So, a sea folk asks Nynaeve if she can go to the White Tower.
Oh, yeah, Talon.
Talon, yeah, why?
Because... she gets treated really shittily by the sea folk because she's a Nepo baby. And in a interesting role reversal, they're like, we don't want to show you any kind of preference, so we're going to treat you extra shitty in our efforts to not show some kind of favoritism. Yes? So she's like, I can't have a fun future here because I keep getting shat on by our society because I am a Nepo baby. Yes?
Something like that. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
I nailed it.
My grandmother is Windfinder to the Wave Mistress of Clan Rasaine. My great-grandmother is Windfinder to Clan Takan, and her sister to Clan Takana. My family is honored that 5 of us have risen so high, and everyone watches for signs that Kellyn abuses its influence. Rightly so, I know, favor cannot be allowed, but my sister was kept an apprentice 5 years longer than normal, and my cousin 6, just so no one can claim they were favored. When I cast the stars and give our position correctly, I am punished for being slow, even when I have the answer as fast as Windfinder Avon. When I taste the sea and name the coast we are approaching, I am punished because the taste I name is not quite what Windfinder Avon tastes. I shielded you twice, but tonight I will hang by my ankles for not doing so sooner. I am punished for flaws ignored in others, for flaws I never make, because I might. Was your novice training any harder than that, Nynaeve? And Nynaeve was like, well, I wasn't a novice, but yeah.
I went straight to accepted. For the first time ever.
So yeah, this is, the sea folks sound cool. And she's like, yeah, I guess you can come, sure, but like, and then she's like, all right, good, deal. And then she runs off. Lan comes up and they talk about...
I just came up with the dumbest joke.
Yes.
It's not funny, and we're going to cut it because it's not funny. But I was like, is a Nepo... for some reason, my brain was like, what if a Nepo baby... to sea folk is called like a Speedo baby.
That's funny.
No, it's not.
Land comes up and they're like, hey, we fucked. Good for them. That's good.
What was that?
I don't know. And then Renee Hartford comes in and is like, hey, I don't know what the fuck you've been doing this chapter up till now, but here's this crusty bastard who scuttled in like a crab. I hate everything about him. He says he has something important for you.
Gee, let me meet with him.
I'm sorry, he's the lumpy fellow is how Nynaeve describes him in her head.
That was fucking funny.
Pardon, mistress, the lumpy fellow muttered hurriedly, tugging his greasy forelock. Mistress Thane said you wanted to see me right away. Women's circle business, she said. Something about send buoy. And she's like, I know those words. Whatever. You know what? Get out of here, Renee. It's all good. And he turns into Rand, and she's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck? I haven't seen you when did they last see each other?
The Two Rivers?
Book
I don't
4,
know.
I think?
At the Stone of Tyr?
Yeah, because she didn't go to the Waste, so
I
book 4.
think the Stone of Tyr.
She saw him in Talaran Riyadh. No, wait. Didn't they talk very briefly in Talaran Riyadh in book 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he was like, Land's dumping you. So the last time she saw him, he told her that her boyfriend broke up with her, and now that boyfriend's her husband.
This is the worst. This is infuriating. So he looks at Lan, ignoring Nynaeve, and says, I see you didn't take your own advice, but why do you let her pretend to be Aes Sedai? Even if the real Aes Sedai let her, she can get hurt. And Lan is like, you better fucking watch how you talk to my fucking wife, dog. She is an Aes Sedai.
What do you mean, why do you let her?
Uh-huh.
You don't let me do shit.
Actually, he barely even says that. He's like, I didn't break up with her because she wouldn't let me. Did you break up with yours? And he's like, no, she wouldn't let me.
In fact, I got 2 more.
Yeah. So, you know, they men, women, sniff, skirts.
Men, women, sniff, skirts.
That's the Wheel of Time in 10 words or less. Honestly.
Men, women, sniff, skirts. Breasts. No, breasts has got to be in there.
Yeah. They catch it. What do they talk about, Allie?
I don't remember.
They're like, hey, dude, if you're in hiding, Egwene can probably help. And he's like, what the fuck is she doing? Is she also Aes Sedai? Sure. Yeah,
try
whatever.
Amyrlin's seat, friend.
I suppose she's Aes Sedai, too.
Yeah, this basically is just like a catch Rand up conversation.
Is she here as well? You 3 and 2 real Aes Sedai? Only 2?
Okay.
No, I don't have time for that.
I'm getting fucking pissed.
And she goes, Egwene is the Amyrlin seat, you fool woolhead. And he goes, huh. Well, okay, cool. I guess Matt's over there. Oh my god, color's in my head.
Oh my god.
So she delves him.
Oh, but this is Rand doing his best parent impression. He's like, You're
telling me
that Egwene is the Amyrlin seat?
Wait a minute. So he delves her. She delves him. What's she find?
She finds that she delves him, and she finds
because he staggers.
Like how bad that wound is.
Yeah, she had known about the wound in his side from Falm, never healing completely.
She's like, that thing's fucking gross.
Resisting all the healing she knew, like a pustule of evil in his flesh. Now there was another half-healed wound atop the old, and that pulsed with evil too.
And she's like, stop getting stabbed.
A different sort of evil, somehow like a mirror of the other, yet just as virulent. And she could not touch either with the power. She did not really want to, but she tried, and something unseen held her away, like a ward. A ward she could not see, a ward of Saidin? So yes, remember, I think it was Damer Flynn, kind of walled off the 2 fighting wounds.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, because it's like 2 different kinds of evil that are
it's like Shatter Logoth evil versus Dark One evil.
Yeah, which are like kickboxing in his side.
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
Yeah.
They don't seem compatible. Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Put 'em up. They're fighting.
And equally bad, but different evil. So, what happens? She's like, hey, anyway, here you go, Nynaeve. Check this shit out. I brought you a nuke. We're gonna use these bad boys.
What? He brought her a nuke?
He brought her the female access key.
Oh, yes. Because they're going to cleanse the taint together, like I predicted.
Yeah, how are they gonna do that?
Very carefully.
Well,
They're gonna hold their little statues, and then they're gonna hold hands.
But how? Are they just gonna channel really hard?
Well, isn't that how anything gets done?
Yeah, I mean...
yeah, they're gonna channel really hard. And
is that gonna be it?
I wish with all my might to cleanse the taint, and that's not funny.
They're not gonna use... It's not gonna be any kind of, like, special cool thing? It's just gonna be they're gonna stand on a hill and channel real hard?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
I mean, I hope it's a little more interesting than that. But, I mean, I assume that there might be some fighting back, right? Like, they might notice that they're trying to do it and send some people to try to stop them.
Probably,
right?
yeah.
I'm assuming. So then maybe there'll be some fun fighting sequences. A little, like, ha, and a hi-ya, and I kick her, sir.
I just feel like just channeling doesn't feel like it's going to be enough.
Well, what are they going to do? Blood sacrifice?
No,
I have just been watching Yellow Jackets.
That's true. I just feel like they have, a coating of evil on the power already. How are they going to get it off by using the power?
They're going to kiss it.
Yeah.
A magic kiss.
Very carefully. A kiss. The anti-evil, like antimatter.
Yeah, they're like...
Put them together, they blow up. All right.
Okay, wait. Do they blow up? Does it blow up? Does everything blow up?
No, I'm saying...
Is that a clip?
No.
It's just very specific phrase?
I was talking about matter and antimatter. I called it the anti-evil as a kiss.
Okay. Wait. Yeah. Okay, so they think really hard about cleansing it. And of course, there's probably some like weaving or unweaving or kissing.
There usually is.
Of some kind. They're like, it's like an oil slick. Well, how do you clean up an oil slick? With Dial soap.
Brought to you by...
Dial.
Alum. He's gonna smear some alum on it. They're gonna hop in.
Smear some alum.
They're gonna hop in the alum
maybe
mines.
that's what they do because...
Halwyn Nori is gonna be like fucking twerking in there. It's gonna be great. Elayne's in the background just doing TikTok dances. I don't know why this is the joke this week. Anyway, so we can move on.
Wait, maybe this episode should be called Brought to You by Alum.
Maybe.
Alum. What's that?
Anyway, Rand is like, yeah, we're gonna clean up. We're gonna scrub down that taint. We're gonna scrub it off.
With Dial soap. What do you do with an oil slick,
and
right?
Nynaeve is like, all right, I'm in. And you get a bingo square for that.
Woo! And Lan's like fuck, you're gonna use her for that, she could die.
She's like, I'm in, Lan, fuck you, dog. I do what I want.
And I'm like, she does what she wants, fuck off.
And that's the end of chapter 11. Chapter 12, 2.5 hours in, is called A Lily in Winter. That's the logo. What is it?
It's a dragon?
Have you got notes?
I hope a Lily in Winter
dragon
isn't
in the
referring
box.
to Elayne's puss.
No, he gives
the
her a
royal
lily.
puss.
The royal puss, as you've been making jokes.
The royal puss.
It's a dragon in the box, because in this episode, Allie, in this chapter, never mind. I was hoping you would complete that sentence.
It's a dragon in a box. It's a dragon in a box.
You got any notes?
Girl. No, I already read them.
Oh, you did? Okay. You read your notes for this?
Yeah.
All right.
I think so, because I didn't delineate.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right. So, Elayne walking around. She's like, all right, I gotta track down Rand. We're gonna do it. We're gonna track that bad boy down. And all the girls get together. You can track him down. Elayne is having breastplates made to fit women. Sorry, Brigitta's having breastplates made to fit women.
And all the guys are scandalized.
Like, what the fuck?
As if boobs don't exist before now. Like, what? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to make things that fit women?
Yeah.
Like, do you think people will make women's shirts act this way? Or bras? Like, it's just of something that's going to touch a boob. Oh my God. Clutch the pearls.
Brigitte is...
Rattle the rosary.
Brigitte's interviewing women for the guards, and she's like, okay, please, please, please let that be engrossing and distracting enough that you will not notice when I mask the Bond, and then I'm going to keep the Bond masked. Which she fails at.
Epically.
Yeah, some people have posited that she deliberately unmasks it. I don't see any textual evidence for that.
Well, she's thinking, please, please, please
Yeah.
let that distract you from what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
I think that kind of implies that she doesn't.
Doesn't deliberately.
Plus, that makes it worse.
Yeah. We don't need to make it worse. It's already got plenty of problems.
I mean, here's the thing. There's a world in which I think this was played funny. Like,
Yes.
it was meant to be funny.
And, like, awkward funny.
Yeah. And there's a world in which it is. I feel that it's a world in which they know it's a possibility, and then it's like a different thing once they deal with the possibility. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's like oh, I'll be in my bunk scenario, not a, like, I'm upset this is happening.
Yes,
Scenario?
I am party to something that I don't want to be party to.
Yeah, if it's more like we're like, okay, I think we can figure out how to, like, keep it at bay, or it won't be that intense. It'll be fine. And then everyone's, like, sitting there. They're all kind of, like, looking at each other. And they're like, I'm gonna go to bed. And they're all like, yep, I'm going to bed. And like, something like that. I feel like that's funny, right? Did I make it funny?
Yeah, yeah.
Versus what happens where I'm like, it's actually a little upsetting.
It is. I believe
if you put yourself into Brigitte's shoes or Min's shoes.
Yeah. I believe the way you put it was, it's not your favorite thing, but it's not your least favorite thing he's ever done.
No, well, yeah.
That's an easy win.
I would say, yeah. Well, I feel like, yeah, there's stuff to unpack about it, but I'm tired.
Yeah, so we're just... All right,
Just send it to jail.
So they go in, they all go in, Rand is in there, and he rambles.
Like, I wanted a sex scene. I did. But again, I feel like I ordered it, and it came 12 sizes too big, and also inside out.
And it had thistles in.
It was itchy fabric.
Yeah.
The dog's running in his sleep.
He is. It's very cute. If he had done it without the, non-consensual voyeurism, etc.
At least make the voyeurism, like, we can make it maybe, like, accidental, but in a way where it's like, we knew it was possible, and then we were kind of like, oh, it's a lot more intense than we imagined. Something like that. Where it's like, they had a little bit of a heads up that it was a possibility that they could be involved, and that to me is more okay. And they're not, like, necessarily upset about it. It's more like, oh.
It's specifically that they are like, they actively don't want this to be happening is the issue.
And specifically, the one I'm upset about
is Brigitte.
Because, like, Alana, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Right? Like, I don't give a shit about what Alana's dealing with, because you know what? Alana played stupid games, wins stupid prizes. But, like, Brigitte...
Did you just hurl your phone onto the floor by accident?
It was an accident.
Oh, nicely done.
But Brigitte, it's like, we like Brigitte. Brigitte's done nothing wrong ever in her life, in my mind. And isn't one of Rand's significant others who's, like, kind of consented to this, like, 3-way that they're into. Or 4-way.
Well, how many people are in Rand's head now? We've got the 3 girls.
There's a fucking crowd in there.
We've got Alana. We've now got Rand and Perrin and Matt occasionally kind of show up with the color swirls for a second. We've got Luz Theron. That's 7.
And Moradin.
And ostensibly Moradin. So at least 8 people in Rand's head.
That's exhausting. I don't even like being in my own head by myself.
No.
So, yeah, I just feel like, what?
I was going to make a dirty joke, and then I just...
Do it!
And Elayne just wishes Rand were in her head, but I didn't like that. Cut.
Giving her. And Elayne wishes Rand was giving her head.
There you go.
know?
Yeah.
So, do we think Rand is a generous lover? Your silence suggests no.
No, I don't feel like it. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they say that it's ours. But is it one of those things where you're like, good God, I'm chafing at this point?
No, I maintain...
Let it end. I need to do laundry.
I maintain that the igloo was 5 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes of cuddling, 10 minutes. And I'm not laughing at that. That sounds romantic and sweet for a couple of virgins.
And Rand's like, this is how the sheep liked it.
Oh, God.
Why do you think I herded those sheep?
I think we were telling...
I'm sorry.
We were telling one of Allie's family members about the books. And we said, and the three main characters are from Farmtown, so they're super prudish. And we kept talking, and we ran them through some of the magic and, the reincarnation and all this other stuff. And eventually she said, the most unrealistic thing that you've told me of all of this is that the farmers weren't just fucking each other like crazy.
Yeah.
That they weren't all just going completely
There's nothing
nuts.
to do other than each other. What? That is completely unrealistic to me.
So, anyway.
There's no arcade for the youths. There's no movie theater.
Anyway, so...
There's no Zelda Breath of the...
Tears of the Kingdom.
Window.
There's Breath of the Wild, and then there's Tears of the Kingdom.
I was going to say Breath of the Wind.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild, or Wind Waker.
Tears of the Wind.
Ocarina of Majora.
Yeah.
For...
Ocarina of Labia Majora.
You're on a roll today. Yeah, I feel like...
It's a sex episode.
I feel like if Birgitte had shown up and been like, okay, what are we doing? What is,
So I'm now going to be in Rand's head, or he's going to be in my... What's going on?
Or even if, like, her response to this was...
You're a grown-ass woman?
This is unexpected, but not entirely unwelcome.
Yes,
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, is it's like, well...
Yeah, it's specifically that...
I'll be in my bunk? That would be funny.
Yeah.
If there was like an I'll be in my bunk moment.
Or if she were like, well, I'm not going to be getting any work done today.
But
Inconvenient.
also she was interviewing people when this went down.
Yeah.
Like that's imagine you're in a job interview and you just start feeling like violently coming.
Phantom dick.
You just feel phantom dick during a job interview.
No.
It's like that scene in 50 Shades of Grey that I only know about from TikTok where he made her wear a vibrating insert.
Oh, one of those, yeah.
During like a dinner party so that he could like zap it at random times. I think it was a dinner party with his parents there, which is like a weird fucking thing. I'm like, Christian is kind of a fucking weirdo. Can we discuss? But also, oh my God. You want to hear my 50 Shades of Grey story?
How did we get here? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Because I have never read 50 Shades of Grey. I don't really know anything about it beyond what I've gleaned from like watching random TikToks where people react to 50 Shades of Grey.
Right.
Which I find entertaining. Like women have their husbands react to the movie. So I've never seen it. I've never read it. That would be a funny, when we're really at the fucking stage of the slog, what if we did 50 Shades?
Patron episodes.
Oh my God. That'd be funny as shit. Okay. But,
like
I was
one episode
listening
per book.
To my mom and my aunt talk about it in the kitchen, and both of them agreed that it wasn't that freaky and I needed to leave. I stood up and I was like, I don't need to be present for this conversation.
Apparently
I know
the first one really isn't.
But I don't need to be present for that discussion.
Thanks, Ma. All right, so...
There's a thing about that really ruins your life as an adult is that people stop hiding how freaky they are from you. Like people that you love and respect. And then you're like, I don't need to know this about you. I need you to be chaste.
So we get this whole scene, which we already mostly talked about. Rand rambles. And he's like, anyway, I should leave now. And they're like, no, come on, dude. Come on. You know what we're here for. And he's like, I love all of you equally. I don't just want one of you, I want all three. So there you have it. I'm a lecher. At least he's open about it. And now, I'm not, to be clear, I'm not saying that you can't be attracted to 3 women. That's not the part. That's not the thing.
No.
That's not why he's...
Okay, here's my thing. I understand that at this moment, he doesn't, like, the point is not, and I love you, this about you, and this about you, and this about you. But later, there's an opportunity for him to celebrate their individuality, and he does not do it.
Yes. And they're like...
That bugged me a little bit.
All good, bro. We're all in. We're all totally in. He's like, cool. But we can't do that. And Nynaeve is like, you man whore, you piece of shit. God damn you to hell. Apologize immediately.
That's, they're all into it, apparently.
Now, I will say this part with Lan, like, aggressively staring into his pipe bowl is hilarious.
That part's funny.
When I was younger and I would be over at a family member's house and suddenly everyone started discussing politics, my beer bottle would be the most fascinating thing I'd ever seen. That is highly relatable, and I do find that very funny.
Or, oh, no, when you're over at your friend's house and their mom comes in and starts yelling at them and you're just there. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
Like they're upset with your friend? No? You had such a chill childhood. What the fuck?
So Elayne is like, anyway, maybe
everyone who had a normal ass fucking traumatizing childhood, raise your hands if you ever watched your friend get absolutely reamed by a parent. It's so awkward, like right in front of you. And you're like, should I leave? Like that happened on several occasions.
So Elayne is like, anyway, Nynaeve, maybe you should leave. And Nynaeve rambles and blabbers awkwardly and then leaves.
Yes. 'Twas a good time. And then she and Lan went to go play Hide the Red Eagle.
So they're like, that's really... No, it'd be hide the golden crane.
Damn it!
But you were close.
Fine.
Hide the golden crane in the Red Eagle's den. This is a Doherty one.
A Doherty episode. It's a Doherty episode.
The Doherty episode. All right, so they're like...
What is that?
I don't know, I do voices
It's
sometimes.
a Doherty episode.
They go, hey, we're gonna bond you. How's that sound? And he's like, bondage or bonding? And they're like, bonding. And he's like...
Pass.
All right, fine.
I preferred the first one.
He goes, no, you can't. I'm gonna die and or go crazy in some order. And also, Alana bonded me first. And they're like, why didn't you tell any of us about that?
Here's my thing. Are we implying that, like, them being bonded to him would hurt worse than them losing the love, apparently, of their life?
Well, it's the whole thing.
I feel like it'd be tied, right? So it's like, well, I'm gonna hurt either way.
It's the whole thing, though, in this show and the books, really throughout.
Well, they said it's as close as
they say it is closer than any marriage. It is closer than any known relationship.
Have you seen how close Gus and I are? I doubt. If you are any closer than the two of us, it's fucking creepy. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
it's like the Shining twins at that point. That's how close that would have to be.
So they're like, hey, Rand, it's all good. We'll share you however we gotta share you. It's all good. We're all into this. Please, can we bond you, please? How's
We're
that
so
sound?
close that sometimes I get frustrated because I'm genuinely like, how did you not read my mind?
Yeah.
That's how close we are. I just think that's bullshit. Anyway.
So they decide they do this bond, and it is what it is. It's a fairly beautiful scene.
Maybe if you hate your wife.
From each of them, she extended the weave in narrow lines toward Rand, twisting the 3 lines into one, changing it into the warder bond. That she laid on Rand as softly as if she were laying a blanket on a baby. The spiderweb of spirit settled around him.
They think of him in infantile terms a lot.
They do. Settled into him. He did not even blink, but it was done. She let go of Sidar. Done. And then they go...
They're like, you know what's wild to me about how they think of Rand? They're like, he's a man, a grizzled man with a penis man, but also a wee baby.
Min goes, oh, light, Rand, the pain I never knew, I never imagined. How can you stand it? There are pains you don't even seem to know. As if you've lived with them so long, they're part of you. Those herons on your hands. You can still feel the branding.
Any comments that you want to make about the women
Those
and how
things on your arms
deep
hurt.
and interesting they are now that you're in their head?
And your side, oh light, your side. Why aren't you crying, Rand? Why aren't you crying?
And Avienda goes, he is the Caracarn,
as strong as the threefold land itself. The veins of gold. Oh, the veins of gold,
Any
you do
comment
love
that-
me, Rand.
Any comment that you want to make about how you love Avienda or how strong she is now that you're in her head? Nope.
And I will
We're
say,
gonna not say anything. Okay.
Chat then blew up with the veins of gold, and you went, I don't understand what this means.
I did not.
It is a phrase that people really like because I think it is fairly poetic, and I think it is a nice image.
It is. I just wish that he'd followed it up with, and you as well, or something.
Or if he'd
like
responded.
if he didn't. What did he respond to all of this? Like,
He says, I hope you all don't go nuts when I die, because I don't want you to, because I love you all. Now, it's in character. It's still annoying.
it's still like.
And it does.
But they
it
just
does,
said, like, okay, because here's the thing that bugs me. Because then I had it explained to me, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's a beautiful image. I get it now. And I was like, but he couldn't follow up. And they give him all of this, like, beautiful love and affection and poetry. And he's inside their heads, too, seeing how much they love him. And he's like, hope y'all don't go crazy.
I will say in this case, perhaps this is a reflection on how hard he has gotten and how unhealthy that is.
Well, I know he's gotten hard because he's about
Based
to
on
do.
what's about to go down, yeah. So he's like, anyway, I should go. And Elayne is like, real quick, one quick thing. We just need 2 to 3 hours. And Min and Avienda are like, we're going to go get to know each other a little bit.
Yeah, because we just met today.
Now that we're married.
Now that we're all married together.
And Elayne is like, I need you to get fully inside of me.
If I don't get dick down this instant.
Oh, God. Okay. And then we change point of view. They talk. They catch up. They compare knife skills. It's kind of cute. Like the first 2 or 3 pages of this, pretty cute. Honestly, I kind of like them getting to know each other. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it was cute. And then all of a sudden, it's awkward.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh dear, I can feel all the things that are happening.
Phantom dick.
And Avienda, we're not going to talk about this too much. Avienda can mask it. The other 2 can't. And that
And
sucks.
I think that's true for Min forever, probably, right? Because she doesn't have magic, so she can't mask it.
Yeah.
But what happens with the warder? So the warder can't ever mask from the Aes Sedai. The Aes Sedai
can mask from the warder, not vice versa.
That seems unbalanced.
Yeah. Min starts babbling. She goes, she should have drunk that heartleaf tea. She'll get with child from this. 2 of them, a boy and a girl, both healthy and strong. And Avienda's like, cool, that's fine. That's great. Good for her. She's into that. She's actually excited about that.
I mean, sure. I think it'd be a little rough to get knocked up on your first
Kind of sucks.
time.
It's rough.
Because, like, you're really going from, like, elementary school to graduate school.
I don't know if
You're like, let me just put everything through this.
I don't know if I don't know if Elayne knows this.
Oh, then why didn't Min say something?
If she told her, you should drink that. You really should. And Elayne went, no.
Huh.
I guess.
Okay,
But it's
well-
also like, if she saw she would get pregnant, it doesn't matter. She would either way. So.
I just don't feel personally like the apocalypse is a great time to be having a baby.
It's not. And then she is also like, and Avienda, you're going to have quadruplets, but she does't say that.
Okay, and that to me,
And this is the thing that took you out the most.
and like took me out in every way. Like I just don't believe it. I just went, Chimbo. 1 in 600 million chance to have quadruplets. And you're telling me this, oh, stop. Stop. First of all, we're at a time, they don't know what germs are, Jim. So how are they going to have fucking 4 babies shoot out of her vag? There's no C-section. Do you know how hard it is with modern medicine to have 4 healthy babies? I had a friend have triplets, and one of those triplets was in the hospital for fucking ever and still has health problems. And she's 2. No way. Stop. And then, okay.
Oh, I skipped the line where Min made a joke about toes. That was a funny joke. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that was a great joke.
Yeah.
Which I have been making forever.
You have, yes.
Min and I are the same. Anyway, so I just can't with that. I can't with it. At a time period where like having a baby was already a dangerous thing. And I know we got magic, so like whatever. So they probably could keep her alive. But I'm like, also, do you know how hard having quadruplets is on your fucking body? And then I'm sure like Robert Jordan would be like, and then her body was tight as a drum after 2 weeks. Like, motherfucker. It's like The Sims. It's like they think that the baby just pops. That belly just pops back in like you're on the fucking Sims. Actually, The Sims 4 changed it so that actually your body does change. The body does change a little bit after they have a baby.
Didn't you say this is like Robert Jordan was playing MASH?
It is like Robert Jordan.
I don't know
playing
what that is,
MASH.
though. You need to clarify for
Okay,
people.
we gotta play MASH because that's a actually really important thing that you need to learn how to do. But okay, so here's the thing: you get take a piece of paper, you write at the top MASH, and then you ask questions like, okay, give me 2 boys that you could be your husband, right? And then you give 2 boys. And obviously I was very like closeted at the time. So I was like, definitely boys are who I want to marry. And you know what? I ended up with a boy.
That did pan
I did
out
manifest that for myself. But as a bisexual woman, could have gone either way. But so, and you know what? Also, non-binary would have been cool as well. Trans, also very cool. Everything's cool with me. But so then you ask for 2 people, and then you give like 2 crappy answers.
Okay.
So you're like, okay, you're gonna have, oh, and MASH at the top, by the way, stands for mansion, apartment, shack, house.
Okay.
Okay. Keep that in mind. So then you get the 2 answers that the person wants, and then 2 answers and then you give 2 answers they wouldn't want.
Wait, so are they the person writing? So hold on.
So,
wait.
okay.
Who's writing down?
I'm writing down.
You're writing down, and you
Who are
ask me
So like,
to
okay,
name 2
Gus,
people.
Name 2 people that you. Okay. Name 2 jobs you would want to have.
Okay.
That's another one.
All right. Yes.
Give me 2 jobs that you want to have.
Actor, director.
Okay. I'll write down
Yeah.
actor and director, and then I would write down gravedigger
Sure.
and
Bartender.
mushroom eater.
All right, yeah,
mushroom
yeah.
taste tester.
Sure. Things that I would not
Things that you
necessarily
would never want to
do.
do. Okay. And then
Me
we'd come
personally.
up with a bunch of different categories. And then I would draw a bunch of dots that you couldn't see. And I'd be like, tell me when to stop.
Okay. This is complicated.
Tell me when to stop.
Now. Stop.
Okay. So I drew 5 dots.
Okay.
Say. And then I would go, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not going to be an actor.
What you did a thing with your hands on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right, here.
You need
We're going to
you
play
need
MASH really fast.
No, I understand. They don't.
You don't understand.
I understand you need to show me, but
Then we can take a video and we'll put it
the
on
question is that if I can see it, I understand the game based on how you're describing it.
You take a video. And
They can't see it. All
You
right.
take a video and you put it on Instagram.
Was this got a companion app to the podcast? What are we, a board game from the mid 2000s, early 2010s?
I don't understand that reference. Hold
Well,
on. Okay, so MASH.
I guess that would be
Petey's
mid
concerned.
2010s.
Petey always looks like he's waking up from a drunk sleep. Am I wrong?
I can't tape that. I'm using my phone as the timer for ads.
Okay, well, here. So,
Hold
okay.
on. This was a one-off.
I have to show you what MASH is. Okay.
All right, hold on. I don't want to record this in 4K. All right. Turn the paper so people can see.
Okay, so MASH.
All right.
Mansion, apartment, shack, house.
Okay.
All right. So then, job. What? So you wanted to be an actor, a director, and I said gravedigger, mushroom taste tester.
Okay. This is the content that people crave.
It is. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the next thing we could do is...
I thought it went into columns. It's not columns. You just write job and then MASH is at the top. Isn't MASH a show?
So,
like Mobile Army Support
give me
Hospital?
2 cities you want to live in.
Los Angeles and Vienna. No. Prague.
Okay.
Prague's great. Big fan.
Okay. Paris, Texas.
All right.
And Florida generally.
Okay. Yes. Not my cup of tea. All right. So now you've got 2 columns, one atop the other.
We'll
What in God's name is happening?
And then
What does this have to do with Avienda's quadruplets?
because I'm getting to that.
All right.
So the number of kids you want.
I don't know, we're getting very personal here.
That's what MASH is.
Well, I'm not doing.
How many kids do you want?
We're gonna make up a
two
number.
Different kinds
We're just gonna make up fake numbers.
1 and 2.
We'll go
with
that.
1
Okay.
and 2.
All right, that's easy.
Reasonable amounts of kids.
All right.
And I'm gonna say 25 and 70. Okay.
What? All right.
Now.
There's
I'm gonna
more?
Draw dots.
Now she's hiding the paper from me.
Oh my God. I'm going to draw dots and you tell me when to stop.
Okay. Stop.
Okay. I did 5 dots.
All right, great.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not going to be an actor.
So you went MASH
5.
and then crossed off actor,
Hold
and then
on.
you went direct. Okay.
So you're not going to live in Prague. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not going to have 25
So this
kids.
is just a rearrange.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not going to live in a house.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, I
You're not going to live
understand
in
now.
Paris, Texas. 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5. You're not going to live in a mansion.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not
All
going to
right.
live in Florida, so you're going to live in Los Angeles.
All right, well,
Yay, you already are.
So I do, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not going to live in an apartment. You're living in a
You
shack.
skipped mansion.
Mansion was already crossed off.
No, you were at you were
I
here.
had already-
You went 1, 2,
No, I went
70,
1, 2, 3,
4. Yeah, you did
4.
M. You already crossed M off. You're trying to
Oh.
stiff me out of my apartment
Sorry.
here. You want me to live in a fucking shack, Allie. If I live in a shack, you live in a shack.
That's true. Okay, so you don't live in a shack.
Crosses off the
you
H,
live
so
in
I
an
live in an
apartment.
apartment. All right, sounds
All
good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not going to have 2 kids, so you're either having 1 or 70.
Oh, this
All
could
ready?
go
1,
either way.
2, 3, 4, 5.
All right.
You're having 1 child.
All right, great.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not going to be a grave digger.
All right,
1,
great.
2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to be a director.
Okay, all right,
Congratulations.
so this makes sense. So
You're
this
gonna
is
be a
how Robert
director
Jordan
who lives in
lives
Los Angeles. You have 1 kid and live in an apartment.
That's realistic.
That is how Robert Jordan writes his characters.
That is the most extended demonstration of a metaphor I've ever seen. And you're right. That is how I'm sure he's got reams of MASH.
Yeah.
In his notes.
Look at Origins. How much of it was MASH?
It's all MASH.
MASH all the way down.
Yes. So anyway, Brigitte. Yeah, we're gonna whatever. Oh no. Oh whoa.
I can't believe you didn't know what MASH was.
Oh, and that's that section discussed. Min recognizes Brigitte. That's great. And then the funny bit at the end that I think is a little bit funny is Brigitte goes, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get super drunk."
That is funny.
And
that is the only response.
Do you know what this is a callback to? There is a specific moment
Elayne
that
getting
this is
drunk?
a callback to. She says, "Lead me to this usquai of yours, Avienda. I don't know about you two, but I intend to get drunk enough to take off my clothes and dance on the table." And Avienda laughs her ass off and calls it a very good joke.
Did Elayne get so drunk that she took her clothes off and danced on a table?
Remember the red rod?
Yeah. That's hilarious.
It's hilarious, but it's also...
Well, did she take all of her clothes off?
I don't remember.
Well, how many people were there?
It was a common room of an inn, wasn't it?
Ooh.
I don't remember.
That's not great.
It's funny conceptually if you don't think about it, and then if you think about it, it gets less funny.
Well, that's so many things.
Yeah. So anyway,
I mean, it's like kind of funny if it's like a sleepover.
yeah.
And you're like,
if it's just the four of
with
them.
like just the 4 of you,
Then
and
it's
you're
fine.
like, all right.
I don't remember. I think it worked out
You're a little
fine.
sloppy.
So we switched to Elayne, and she got absolutely fucking demolished the night before, and apparently that's great. Rand was gone, except inside her head.
Oh,
and
apparently they had sex at least twice.
But
she says that. Yeah, because she woke up that morning and she's like, we had sex last night, and then we woke up and had sex again.
She did?
Yeah. Come here. You think that I would not remember? Come here. Give me.
She absolutely did not.
Give me it. Either that or I was reading Akatar.
That might have happened in Akatar.
Listen to this. Stretching languorously beneath the blankets, she remembered her abandon the night before and most of the day as well.
Oh.
Right? I guess it wasn't twice. I guess maybe it was... Well, either they did it twice, they either did it more than once, or they had a marathon boning sesh like fucking
Maybe
Sting.
Rand is really into tantric sex.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
He's just
That would
Sting.
explain it. 2 hours, maybe 3.
I can't.
Yeah, it could be.
Ow!
It's the Two Rivers thing, flame in the void.
I don't think that's a positive thing.
I don't know.
After a while, it's like, I have stuff to do.
I don't know. I mean, they seemed into it. She seemed into it. Rand was like,
This is written by a man.
You know
the
what?
chasing would be unbelievable.
You know why Rand is like, there's no time, because every time I get laid, it takes 8.5 hours, so there's no time for me to do anything else.
It's like, I don't have time for all three of you.
I don't know anything about Tantra. I don't know anything about whatever.
I don't need you.
What are you doing?
No.
You can't read.
You can't. Every way you look at that, except for the real way, was funny.
Yes. So he left her a flower, and it's a magic flower, and it will be beautiful forever, which is very sweet. And also, Olivia fucking ran away, apparently.
What? That's not good.
Olivia vanished during the night.
Oh, that's really bad. I missed that.
Or did she run away?
Did something happen to her?
She goes, Olivia had vanished during the night, a serious matter that put the kin in a tumult. It was not until Zaida appeared in a taking because Nynaeve had not come for a lesson with the Atha an Mier that Elayne learned that Nynaeve and Lan were both gone from the palace too.
Oh.
Not until much later did she learn that the collection of Angrial and Terangrial
Rand grabbed them all.
they had carried out of Ebudar was missing, the most powerful
I
of
bet
the three
Nynaeve was
Angrial.
like, in case I can't do it, we need another powerful
Yes,
channeler.
I think
I
so.
know exactly who to grab.
And several other items besides. Some of those, she was sure, were intended for a woman who expected to be attacked at any moment with the one power, which made the hastily scribbled note Nynaeve had left hidden among the remainder all the more disturbing. We did it. Al?
Is it possible that the three of them were just participating in a threesome
Look,
with some toys?
this was the opportunity for Robert Jordan to be like, and then all four of them fucked. I don't necessarily trust him to have written that very well,
No.
but,
No.
or to have made it not seem really wish fulfillment-y.
No. There's no way. Jim, I'm sorry. I love the guy.
Man. Love him.
But there's
We do.
there's no way. There's no way. But,
Yeah.
well, you know what I want? I just want Elayne and Avienda to also be hooking up. I
Yeah.
think that would make me very okay with all of it,
Yeah.
to be honest.
That would help a
Because
lot.
they have a lot more chemistry than all of them with Rand, to be honest.
Yeah.
Make
That's true.
them
Bye.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was going to say make them gay, but I'm like, no, I'm technically not gay.
Well, you know that people way back about the show, they asked Rafe, are you going to do the polygamy? And he said, we'll do polyamory.
Yes!
We'll figure it out.
Do the polyamory.
So, like, I am very optimistic for
kiss.
perhaps stronger polyamorous representation in the show.
I trust Rafe to do that well,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah.
I trust him. I trust Sarah to
I trust
do that thoughtfully.
Amanda. Yeah.
I trust Amanda.
Al, big long fucking episode this week.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Conflicted.
Yes?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm always team fucking in the books, but I'm also like, there were bumpy parts that I think could have been smoothed over a smidge for me.
I believe the way you put it was, can I have one sex scene then where I don't have to discuss something?
All right. I haven't had that since the igloo scene.
Even the igloo, we had like a 10-second little aside.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a trifle in comparison. A trifle.
But on the other hand, this was the thing I was waiting for us to get to before we invited Bree to do the, as a romance writer, how would you fuck with the relationships in the Wheel of Time podcast?
Yeah, which we will do eventually, but I'm trying to figure out the right timing for that, right? Because I don't know all the things.
You know enough now about the relationships that
we could do it?
and like the major scenes in a lot of them, the instigating scenes, that I think we would have plenty to discuss. This was the moment in particular I was waiting for us to get to.
Buffet.
Something we've talked about doing for quite a while. How we would tweak things.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. So
I have so many thoughts.
yeah, that'll be fun. Look forward to that around the same time as the Payable deep dive.
We will do that eventually.
We will do that
But now
eventually.
I feel like we can't do the Payable deep dive until after we get to the conclusion of the kidnapping. Because
That
I feel like that's an important time to do that.
seems fair.
Yeah. We can't do the Payable deep dive until we get to the conclusion of the kidnapping plot for sure.
Allie, let me tell you something.
What?
Next chapter. Not a Perrin chapter.
Mer?
Not an Elayne chapter.
Mer?
A Cadsuane chapter.
Oh. Interesting.
We've talked long enough. Thank you very much.
Talked long enough.
We have social media if you want to know what we've got going on. It's linked down below. We have merchandise. Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? Wow. Why did I sound like... All right. If you want to, shirts, mugs, yay. We also have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes. Or just tell a friend. If you have somebody who's reading the Wheel of Time or, watching the show, whatever. Let them know, hey,
let
there's
them know.
these two hacks
two
who talk
chuckleheads.
about bullshit to do with it, and then they swear a lot, and their dog sometimes makes noises.
He does. He's perfect.
Other than that, anything else, Al?
Elayne got some dick.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again for listening. This was Wheel Takes with Allie and Gus. Music by Alexander Nakarada.